Welcome to the program, everyone. My name is Brian Craig, and this is where MAGA comes to talk. So last night we had the second and final New York mayoral debate with Mom Donnie, with Zohan Cuomo and Curtis Sliwa, and it was a disaster. I'm going to go through some of the audio as things go on. It was a disaster, and some races are more important than others, and this is probably the most important municipal election of any of our lifetimes. I can't think of a time when a mayor's race was so important so far as the future of the United States. If you got an example of one, I'm talking about a mayor's race that's been this important as the New York City race, and it's big trouble. Zohan, even though he did so poorly last night, Cuomo should easily have been able to take him down. I'm going to go through all of that on the program, but I want to play this for you. Candace Owens, she did an interview yesterday, and she's just lost her mind. A lot of people think she's blaming Trump for the assassination of Charlie Kirk. Have you seen this? Listen to this.
Just really needed to just take a breather and really process everything that happened with Charlie and what it kind of means in terms of where we are. And I think it is a circumstance where we just know. We just know that he was truly betrayed in one of the most egregious ways that I think I've ever seen. It has made me lose faith in politics. It has made me fully lose faith in Trump. And my heart aches for the fact that he gave so much of his life to Trump and to politics. And they just were like, nope, that is it. It serves us or it doesn't serve us, and we want to move on. And so here's a holiday. Bro, if they try to give me a holiday, what is with them giving people a holiday after they kill them? Why is that a thing? You know what I mean? They're like, oh, Martin Luther King, what about this holiday? What about this boulevard? Anyways, let me knock it off. Like, they're going to give Charlie Kirk a boulevard. They already did. They did in Israel. They gave him freaking boulevard. It's like, as soon as they give you a boulevard and a holiday, they definitely killed you. Okay, there's no question. They killed you. There's no way. That's like their signature thing. It's like that's what they do. It's the Fed signature. It's how they sign off after they murder you. They're like holiday and a boulevard. And it's never on a nice side of town either. Like Charlie Kirk Boulevard is not going to be a nice side of town. Anyways, I will be back on the 27th, you guys. Thank you guys for all the support throughout these couple of weeks, these last really kind of 6 weeks since Charlie died. And we will see you guys then.
Is she blaming President Trump for the assassination of Charlie Kirk? Candace Owens? It sounds like she is to me. She used to be so important to our movement, and I don't know if she's lost her mind or if she's always been nuts. Maybe she's always been nuts. Some people think that pregnancy brought it out of her. Others have thought that maybe her asthma medication made her nuts. But there's a third one that she's always been nuts. I don't know, okay? I really don't know. If she was nuts in the past, she covered very well. But it seems to me in this clip that she is blaming President Trump. When was President Trump washing his hands of Charlie Kirk? They were best of friends. You know, he was one of the few people that not only could get the president on the phone whenever he felt like it. Okay, the president would always take his calls. He could get the president of the United States as president to get on Air Force One and fly to some Turning Point event with no notice the next day. President Trump's talked about this. So this is just really absurd. And, the reason that I bring these things up with Candace Owens, first of all, I don't enjoy it. She was such an important person in our movement years ago. And she still would be if she had never left. If she never would have left Turning Point and kept her wits about her, Candace Owens would be running Turning Point. Charlie Kirk's wife would still be the CEO, but Candace Owens would be the front person for Turning Point USA today if she had not left and lost her mind. And maybe some of that is really triggering her. Maybe that she feels that that's been taken from her, that she's still owed that they should have come to her. And asked her to take over because she believes that she's responsible for Turning Point. I mean, she obviously played an important part, okay? In the early days of Turning Point, when she was their press spokesperson with Charlie, she was much more than that, and she was all over the place. She was very charismatic, and Candace Owens is very much responsible for the beginnings of Turning Point becoming a nationally known and an effective organization. But that was a long time ago, and she's really lost it since then. And I bring these things up with her from time to time when they happen, because she has such a large following. Her bizarreness is believed by so many people. Anytime I talk about Candace Owens and point out these nonsense things she says, I always hear from people that are telling me, "Oh, she's just saying the truth that you won't report," and all this stuff. No, she has lost her mind. And there are people that are Trump haters or anti-Semites or others who they grab onto everything she's doing because she's saying the things that they want to be true, that Trump did terrible things and that the Jews are responsible for everything, and then the list goes on. So she's built up a large following on top of her already well-known status. But I think it's hard to put a number on this, but my guess would be the majority of people, and I mean, maybe this is just me talking about myself, but I think the majority of people, not all, but the majority of those who were a strong follower of Candace Owens years ago feel like I do about her today. You guys can let me know. I'd like to hear your thoughts on that at 888-465-2631. We'll be live on the radio in a few minutes. And if you want to call in, the number is pinned in the live chat. It is toll-free no matter where you are watching, 888-465-2631. When the radio show starts in a few minutes and I open up on the radio, I'm going to start with the debate, okay? The New York City mayor's debate with Curtis Sliwa, Andrew Cuomo, and Zohan last night. And I'll just to give you a sneak preview, it didn't go well for any of them, okay? They all three of them sucked. But that all three of them sucking, that is what helps Zohan. And you know, the old Cuomo would have gone after him and humiliated him. I'm gonna pull up one. Hold on, let me. There's not. I'm gonna play sound bites from it today. Hold on. There's one clip I want to play that I'm gonna start with. Hold on. Let me cue this up. Let's see. There's one clip. There's a lot I'm going to play, but there's one I'm going to start with. I wasn't going to start with this, but I'm going to. All right. Okay, that's one, but there's one main one. That was from the first debate. Okay. That was from the first debate. Hold on. There's one I want to start with. Bear with me, guys. I forgot to cue this up before the show. Okay. Yeah, I mean, they went after each other a little bit, but it was nothing spectacular. If you're on hold, hang in there. Oh, boy. Oh, I hope I got that clip. I know I got the clip I want. Yeah, okay, here it is. Okay. There was one moment. Okay, I found it. Good. There was one moment where Cuomo could have knocked it out of the park. Just completely knocked it out of the park, and he didn't. And I'll play it for you guys now, but I'm going to play it again when the radio show starts. Let me cue it up. Okay, this one here. He was trying to be Trump. And, okay, this is it. Here we go.
Mr. Cuomo, in 2021, 13 different women who worked in your administration credibly accused you of sexual harassment. Since then, you have spent more than $20 million in taxpayer funds to defend yourself, all while describing these allegations as entirely political. You have even gone so far as to legally go after these women. One of those women, Charlotte Bennett, is here in the audience this evening. You sought to access her private gynecological records. She cannot speak up for herself because you lodged a defamation case against her. I, however, can speak. What do you say to the 13 women that you sexually harassed?
Isn't this...
If you want to be in government, then you have to be serious and mature.
Okay. You know, Cuomo here, you know, he was totally thrown off his game there. He didn't know what to say. He looked like a fool in this one moment. And I would have come back with something. What I'm looking out in the audience is that unindicted co-conspirator, terrorist who helped bomb the World Trade Center in 1993 that you're taking pictures with. Is he out there in the audience tonight? Hold on, we're coming on. Stand by. Okay. Welcome to the program, everyone. My name is Brian Craig, and you are listening to Florida's longest-running radio show, The Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1977, celebrating 49 years on the radio. Welcome. If you're on hold, stand by. We have a lot to cover today. I'm going to start with they had a second debate in New York City in the mayoral race with Curtis Sliwa without the beret, Governor Cuomo, and Zohan. And it was a disaster for all three of them, just a complete disaster. They all three sucked. I'm going to play some of the audio clips from it. Cuomo and Zohan had a couple of zingers. I'm going to go through it and play some of the clips. I'm going to start with one in a moment. But all of them sucking, and Cuomo not devastating Zohan is a win for Zohan. Zohan didn't have to win that debate last night. He just had to get through it. And get through it, he did. He had one good moment, which I'm going to start with. Because this was the moment where it was one of several opportunities where Cuomo could have taken care of this. But, you know, the thing with Cuomo, there's a few things with Cuomo. He's been out of office for a while, and he's also an entitlement person. He's like Liz Cheney. He inherited the office. His dad wasn't just the governor of New York. Mario Cuomo, Governor Cuomo's father, was a big deal. People don't remember him the way, a lot, but he was a big, big deal. He was the Democrats' foil to Ronald Reagan when he was president, and, he was wrong about everything. He was a Democrat, but he was a big deal in the Democrat Party when he was around. So he's kind of inherited everything he has and hasn't had to work for it, Governor Cuomo. And he's also been out of politics for a while, so he's also rusty. And maybe he's just gotten a little old and lazy. Since he hasn't been working the last few years, I guess he's gotten old, lazy, and tired and out of practice. And if this were years ago, Zohan would have been destroyed last night. And destroying Zohan in the debate last night may not have won the debate and won the election for Cuomo, but at least there would have been a race. Right now, he's so far ahead, it's not even a race. And Mamdani at one point, this was the high point for Mamdani that I'm starting with, because I wanted to illustrate what a dope, both Curtis Sliwa and Governor Cuomo, this one's about Governor Cuomo, was last night. What Mamdani was trying to do in this clip was be Trump, right? His campaign took something from Trump's first campaign with Hillary. Listen to this.
Mr. Cuomo, in 2021, 13 different women who worked in your administration credibly accused you of sexual harassment. Since then, you have spent more than $20 million in taxpayer funds to defend yourself, all while describing these allegations as entirely political. You have even gone so far as to legally go after these women. One of those women, Charlotte Bennett, is here in the audience this evening. You sought to access her private gynecological records. She cannot speak up for herself because you lodged a defamation case against her. I, however, can speak. What do you say to the 13 women that you sexually harassed?
If you want to be in government, then you have to be serious and mature.
I mean, that was just so weak, wasn't it? I mean, it was so weak. It was an embarrassment. I mean, that was not a good moment for Cuomo, and it just shows. I mean, now that was the one highlight of Mamdani where he did well. Cuomo got some zingers in, and I'm going to play them all as we go on. But that's a moment where, you know, if it were President Trump that he said something so stupid to, or, you know, if I were Cuomo and I had done what he had done, obviously that's a tough question. That's one of those questions that there's no good answer to. And, you know, what I would have done, or first off, you got to be prepared for that. And he should have known she was there, or at least been prepared for it. And if he was properly prepared for it, he would have been on his game a little bit better with an answer. But, you know, I don't prepare for anything. I just deal with stuff live when I'm dealing with callers and such on the program. And my immediate reaction would be, I'm looking out in the audience. Where do you have the unindicted co-conspirator terrorist from the World Trade Center bombing in 1993 that you have the endorsement of, that you took the picture with? Where is he sitting out there? That terrorist that attacked the Trade Center and killed, how many New Yorkers died in that? I don't see him. Does he happen to be sitting next to that Central Park 5 guy that endorsed you, that you were in the picture with? I'm looking. You know, something like that. That may not have been the best response, but at least an attempt. He sat there and looked like a fool, Cuomo. So that's that. I mean, you know, we're going to get this guy as mayor of New York City unless something strange happens and we get very, very lucky. But, you know, Steve yesterday was asking what's going to happen in New York. Well, you know, the conventional thinking is that President Trump is going to take all the funding away. And I hope he does that, but there is a risk with that. If President Trump cuts all the funding, what the media will do, what the Democrats will do, what the Never-Trumpers will do, and what Zohan will do is say, you know, it's Trump's fault that all these things are happening. He cut the funding. You know, this crime wave that's going on, we'd like to fight the crime, but we can't. The garbage that's piling up on the streets, because we'd like to clean that up, but the federal funding is gone. We have no money. So it could possibly put things in a position where they can at least attempt to get a narrative off the ground, blaming Trump for all the problems. But I think we're in a position now where we just got to kind of accept that Zohan's going to be the mayor of America's most prominent and important city, and where are we going to go from there? All right, your thoughts on this certainly are welcome at 1-888-465-2631. It's a toll-free call, 888-465-2631. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Mr. Brian Craig, this is Matthew Wayne. How are you doing, sir? I'm calling from currently in Williamsburg, New York City.
Hey, what's going on?
First of all, I want to say thank you. Thank you for all you do. God bless you. And this is the most important phone call. I'm a very humble person, but just give me a minute. This is the most important phone call and the greatest day of my life.
I feel like I'm being set up here, but go ahead.
No, not at all. Don't make assumptions, sir. Let's make this the best phone call. Okay. So, God woke me up at 4:44 a.m. To call into your show and speak with you. Okay.
Get ready,
there are
Mike.
things happening. There are things happening behind the scenes. There are things happening behind the scenes that the public is not aware of, and we're going to win the election and defeat Mom Donnie.
Well, all right. Well, I'm gonna let you go,
Okay.
because you're getting very weird and mysterious, and before you get to your punchline. But I don't buy much of anything that guy says. This isn't fun or games. When it comes to most elections, especially at the state and local level, you want to win, and there are consequences that are important, but they're not the most important, right? I mean, if we get this Jay Jones guy as an example, right? If he wins his election, that fantasizes terrible things and says terrible things, that's a bad thing to happen. No getting around it. It's a bad thing to happen. But there'll be another election in a couple years, and but New York City and Zohan is different. People make this comparison to Dinkins. Dinkins was a failure and an incompetent Democrat. But what Zohan is doing isn't about the Democrat socialist agenda. Zohan's not about his democratic socialism or his communism. It's about changing the entire demographic of the city of New York. And that's what it's all about. And you know exactly what I mean. And it doesn't matter how much he fails, because the demographics have changed so much in New York. They don't mind the failure. These people don't mind these liberal idiots in New York that were trying to stop the deportations. They don't mind living in filth. They don't mind living in a high crime area. They think that that's the price you got to pay to not have Republicans in office. That's the price you got to pay for DEI. That's the price you got to pay. Filth, crime, violence. That's a price you got to pay to have Democrats in power. So they don't care about those things. You're not dealing with normal people. So when Dinkins failed, he was a one-termer. He was voted out, and it ushered in, of course, Mayor Giuliani, who did great things. But even though they were Democrats back then, they were New Yorkers. And the people that are supporting Mamdani, a huge chunk of them, maybe the majority of them, don't consider themselves New Yorkers or even Americans. Remember the poll I had the other day showed that among native-born New Yorkers, Cuomo's way ahead. But among foreign-born New Yorkers, Mamdani's got a double-digit lead. See what I mean? All right, if you're on hold, stand by. It's the Steve Kane Show. My name is Brian Craig. We'll take our first break and be right back. Did that make sense to you guys? Absolutely it does. If you're on hold, hang in there, okay? We'll be right back.
I'm excited to announce that we're having our biggest 3-in-1 sale ever with a limited edition product, a back-in-stock special, and a closeout deal you won't find anywhere else. So go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use your promo code to get our MyPillow bed sheets, only $29.88. Any color, any style, any size, even kings, regular $119.98, only $29.88. Once they're gone for good. How about our My Towels? They're finally back in stock, but not for long. Get a 6-piece My Towel set, regular $69.98, now only $39.98. And for the first time and the only time ever, get our limited edition premium My Pillows. They're made with Giza cotton and designer gusset. Queen $17.98, Kings only $19.98. So go to mypillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use your promo code to get the best offers ever. Quantities are extremely limited, so order now.
All right, and guys, don't forget, you got to support Mike Lindell and My Pillow. It'll either be next Friday, probably the Monday after Friday. Well, I'll have my meeting with Mike and his staff. They'll tell me how things are performing with the expansion of the show and their expansion of sponsorship, and they're going to find out. I'll find out if they're going to continue. So if you go to mypillow.com and use the promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, they will continue. All right, so load up. It's a great time to do your Christmas shopping. I really enjoy doing all of this extra content, the early show, the afternoon show and all the extras that I've been doing on the weekend, but it depends on Mike Lindell staying with us with the expansion. So it's promo code Kane, Kane, at checkout at mypillow.com. All right. If you're on hold, stand by. I'm going to go to the phones when we get back. The number's pinned in the live chat. Those of you that are new, welcome. And the new subscribers, welcome to all the new subscribers. I'm on the radio live in the morning on a bunch of FM radio stations. So we're in a radio station commercial break right now. And when we get back, I'll start taking the calls again. If you're watching on the live stream with the green behind me, you want to go to my main live stream. You can see and hear all the audio and video that I play. And the direct link to that is in the description of the video. It'll take you right there to my main YouTube live stream. All right, I'm waiting for Mike. Okay, we're going to be back in about a minute, just about a minute. And then I'll go to the phones. Oh, man, I can't believe it's Thursday. I shaved this morning because I'm going to be on national TV today. I'm debating on whether to get a haircut. I don't know. Should I get a haircut? Do I need a haircut? What do you guys think? Can I get away without a haircut to do national television today, or should I do it? Let me know. What do you guys think? I got a little hat head right now, but I'll take a shower again before I go on TV. Haircut? Okay. What do you guys think? Haircut or yes or no in the chat? Let me know. A small trim? You only see me like from here up. Get a haircut. No one said don't. Oh my goodness. Okay. Haircut it is. It's time. Okay. I only usually get haircuts with the national interviews when I'm on TV. Okay, stand by. Welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian Craig. You're listening to The Steve Kane Show. Call us on hold, stand by. I'm going to be on doing a national television interview today, and I was asking everybody during the break, should I get a hair? I already shaved. I shaved this morning because I'm going to be on national television, and I was asking everybody during the break on YouTube, should I get a haircut before I'm on television today? And every single person said yes. I was surprised. My hair is my hair that long and unkempt? Am I a hippie or something? What's going on here? I am going to get a haircut after the show. The only thing is, since all the lockdowns are and everything, you can't just walk in and get your hair cut. You got to make an appointment like a woman to get a man's haircut. It's a pain in the butt. But I'll do it. I will get a haircut because every single person said get a haircut. So I must look like a hippie. All right, let's go. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, good morning, Brian. This is Richie.
Hey, Rich.
I'm going to say a couple things that Como, when Mandani said to Como something, Como came back and said, President Trump called you a communist, but you're not a communist. You're a democratic socialist. That showed me that Como is afraid to even say it the way it is because he'll alienate the far left of that party, and they are communists. I'm sorry to say it.
Absolutely,
you're right about the. Yeah, and I do disagree with one thing here. I think that if President Trump was standing there debating, he would, and he said exactly what Curtis had said, it would have come out to the same results. Because the only one on that stage who knew what he was talking about, who actually had solutions to the problem, who actually is for the person in the street, but not the people that are on welfare and giveaways, is Curtis.
Yeah.
And he doesn't have a chance.
No, not a chance at all.
But it was frustrating because he actually won that debate hands down. I don't see how but he has no chance. So you couldn't, this guy had every answer for everything. Logical, sensible answers. Yeah. And the other guys were exposed.
Listen. What you have to go, last night, I don't know if it's because Cuomo is old and rusty and out of practice. Maybe he was never that good and he just never had to fight for anything before because everything has been handed to him his whole life because of who his daddy was. But he should have gone in there prepared to. Now, I got some clips, and it was a moment or two. He should have gone in there and prepared to take him to the woodshed and ended that debate with Mamdani almost in tears. but he
Yeah,
didn't.
but he couldn't.
He could.
Well, listen, if he had said what you said, turned and said that terrorist was out there, there's 1 million Muslims that are going to.
What's he got to lose? What's he got to lose?
Nothing. But he would have totally. And the Central Park 5, wouldn't they got a black vote in New York City?
What's he got to lose?
He's going to lose. It's obvious.
Yeah, so go for it. So go for it. Bring him down. Go out like a man, not like a chump, a bum, a loser, a tired old man.
It's just this. It's the. You know what that was an indictment on? Not any of the three of them. It was an indictment of what's living in that city right now. I'm sorry to say it, man.
Yeah.
White, rich liberals and people that are on the take.
Yes.
I mean, I saw a video. Where a girl's whole family, her grandmother, her mother, and now she's going to teach her kids. And
I know. I played that on the show yesterday. All right, Rich, I'm going to move on, but appreciate the call. Yeah, I played that on the show yesterday morning. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Marilyn Miller from Jamaica, Queens.
Hey,
How
what's
are
up?
you, Brian?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm not doing so well. I live in New York.
Yeah, I know. It's pretty rough, huh? Oh, man.
Yes, it is.
So what's on your mind?
So my takeaway.
Hold on. Let me answer these lines that are coming in because they're pretty busy. All right. Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry. What's your takeaway?
So my takeaway from the debate last night is I didn't see any clear winners. What I saw losers though, and that's us New Yorkers. We are this city is so disarray, Brian. The crime, the sanitation, they don't clean up the garbage anymore. The streets are a disaster. The infrastructure, every highway is a disaster. So I don't know if whoever wins this race is going to be a one-term mayor, I believe.
Well, I don't know about that. See, Mom Donnie's following don't care about the garbage. They don't care about the crime. There's another agenda, and it's to turn New York City into London. That's what it is, and everybody knows this. And Governor Cuomo is dancing all around that because he's a Democrat and he doesn't want to be called an Islamophobe. But if he went after Mamdani on that and had been doing that during the campaign and last night, probably could have won. And I'm no fan of Cuomo. How many people died, because of him. But but I don't want
Correct.
New York to turn into England, turn into London.
Yeah, I ran into someone from England. They were visiting New York, and they say it's pretty bad there. And it looked like we're turning into a third world city.
That's right.
If you come to New York and look at everything.
I did see something though that was good. That cleaning up of Canal Street with the illegals, with all the counterfeit designer bags, a couple days ago. Did you see that?
Yes, I did, Brian. I'm retired NYPD, so I used to work in that area there. So years ago, that's been there for many years.
Yeah, well,
okay,
but yesterday, that was 2 days. Yes, that's correct. And when but they cleaned them all up. And then yesterday, I saw some citizen journalists who were there interviewing the locals, and they love it.
Right.
They're like, this is amazing. We never could even walk here before. And but they'll be back. They'll be back. How long were you with the NYPD?
20 years.
Oh, my goodness. What did you do?
I was a police officer, and then I worked undercover for a minute.
Oh, really? So you're like a real cop. You weren't like an office cop.
No, I was not. I was on the streets.
Okay. So this one thing. Let me ask you this as a one of the things that Mamdani he's got all this code of. I believe the police should handle serious crimes. So he doesn't want police to enforce any misdemeanors, which include some assaults, prostitution, and theft up to $1,000. I mean, New York City is going to turn into an anarchy with this guy. It just is.
I believe that too. The small, like the misdemeanor crimes, they can lead to other crimes. So you have to nip that in the bud. I believe you have to lock up the shoplifters. Any low crimes, you have to do that, because if they can get away with the misdemeanors, it can lead into other crimes.
They escalate.
Like felonies.
They escalate. Oh, I got away with this, so why don't I do this next time?
Exactly, if they can get away with it. And they are getting away with it. You go into a store here in Queens or New York, anywhere in New York, you can't even. I used to go get my mascara, and now the mascara is locked up.
Yeah.
So toothpaste, everything is locked up. You have to go in and ask one of the.
When you were
clerks to
doing
come in.
undercover work, what kind of undercover work did you do?
At one point, believe it or not, that on Canal Street, the feds recruited me as a rookie. They recruited me to go into Canal Street and to expose the counterfeiting sales. That
So
was
what were
going
you
on.
doing? Were you like an undercover buyer of the counterfeit designer
I
stuff?
would go in and and buy.
Oh, okay. That's a serious that's a federal crime. People don't realize
Yeah,
selling
it is.
fake purses is a big deal. Yeah, you'll go to jail for selling a fake Louis Vuitton for a while.
Exactly, and they're all out there on the streets, but they're very organized, Brian.
Mm-hmm.
They're just not the local people there that you see on the streets there. There's a higher echelon that's controlling the people on the ground, just like the drug trade.
Well, the other thing that he's legalizing is he doesn't want to arrest prostitutes. I mean, that's crazy.
Yeah. That's a big problem in Roosevelt Avenue. They're trying to crack down on that and the trafficking of women and children onto Roosevelt Avenue. So they're trying to clean that up. I don't know how that's going to go if he becomes mayor.
I'm not one of those guys that picks up hookers. But you know more about hookers than I do since you're a cop. But
Right, exactly.
most prostitutes are basically slaves to somebody. They're not out there. They're not independent contractors that are just on their own. And it's sex slavery.
Right.
It's sex slavery.
You're right.
And it's got. Let me ask you, as a retired NYPD officer, are you allowed to have a gun, or do you not have a gun for personal protection?
Yes, we're allowed to have a gun. Yes.
Oh, good. At least you'll be safe.
For it. You have to get licensed for it. And Smith & Wesson, I believe in that. And
Heck
God
yeah.
we trust, and God I trust with Smith & Wesson and Mace.
What kind of gun do you carry? Smith & Wesson what?
Glock.
A Glock. Yes. I got a Glock. I got a Glock 48 a couple years ago. It's
that's a nice weapon.
It's thin. I got it. Now we have open carry in Florida, but we just got it. We didn't have open carry, and the Glock 48 is a thin gun, so I got it for concealed carry because it's not as wide. But if I need more than 10 rounds, I'm done. So 10 rounds are enough. You know what I mean? If I gotta go,
Good.
exactly. If I need 11 or more, I'm done.
You go to the range?
Yeah.
Go to the range?
Yeah, I've owned guns since I was 12. I mean, I'm in Florida, so
great.
that's only
You're
one
good-
of my
you're a good
guns.
shooter.
Yeah, Oh yeah.
But I have a question. You know what, Brian? Cuomo, I want to talk about this.
Yep.
When the woman that said he was sexually harassing her
Mm-hmm.
was in the audience, we knew that she was going to be there. So I want to know how come his team didn't prepare him they was going to bring it up in the debate.
Yes.
And his campaign did not prepare him for that woman that he brought to the debate.
It was sad. I almost felt bad for Cuomo. I mean, but I'm wondering if he always was this bad and he just got by on his daddy's coattails and never was the tough guy that I thought he was. I don't think he's probably ever really had the debate. That was so weak. He should have been prepared with that and brought Zohan down.
Exactly. He could have, but I don't know who won that debate. I don't think
No
there was
one.
no winners there.
There was no
All
winner.
I could see was losers was New York City. We're the losers
Well,
in that.
here's the way to look at it. They all were terrible, but that means Zohan won it. Mamdani won it because he wasn't exposed. So he just had to get through the debate. He didn't have to take these guys down. He's so far ahead. And the people that are, I'm also very, I give you an example of where Cuomo really let everybody down. He brought up that Zohan would not condemn the global intifada. He didn't ask him to condemn 9/11, which, by the way, is part of the intifada.
Right.
I would have hit him.
I'm a 9/11 first responder. I'm 9/11
Well,
first
God
responder
bless you.
survivor.
Really?
Yes, I am.
How close? I'm way late for the break. How close did you get on that day?
I had to respond. I was working out the 7th precinct, so when it went down, I had to go out and respond to the World Trade Center.
Oh my goodness! Did you respond after it came down or before? Were you there? How far away were you when it fell?
I was there when it went. I was there when it went down.
Oh my goodness!
I was at ground zero for about probably my whole time. That was my last year of being a police officer. It was like I was in my 20th year.
Wow,
so,
you've been retired a while.
I got a lot of overtime, and I was down at Ground Zero.
I'll tell you, you're not just a police veteran. You're a combat veteran. That was the front lines of a war.
Yes, it was. It was very. But I like the fact that you brought up the World Trade Center, that he took a picture with the unconvicted terrorist.
Oh,
and
that's right. I mean, if I were Cuomo, I would have had that picture and shown it. I would have had it in my hand and shown it. There's no way I wouldn't have not shown that. I would have had it in my pocket. And they might have freaked, that's against the rules. I don't care if it's against the rules. This guy is a terrorist that attacked the Trade Center. And how many New Yorkers died on 93-6? Or was it a lot of injuries? People were trying. Listen, I'm so late for the break. I'm going to be reamed out, but I appreciate the. Keep in touch.
Yes,
when this monster becomes mayor, keep in touch and let us know.
I will.
What it's like.
Thank you, Brian, for all that you do.
All right, take care. Take care. If you're on hold, stand by. We'll be right back. Oh man, I tell you, pretty scary, guys, isn't it? Now, I went late on the break. I mean, she's a retired NYPD police officer, so she knows, man, and you got to respect that. New York City Police, that's the finest police department in the world. So, all these people talk about New York City NYPD leaving to go to other states and stuff. I made a haircut. I had to make a haircut appointment on the app where I get my haircut. I already paid for it and tipped. So when I get off the air, I'm getting my haircuts, and she all said I need a haircut to be on TV today. Oh my goodness. Oh boy. And I have to set up. I have a TV set right here that I have with special lighting that I don't use here and everything else. I could do it here, but I do it over there. Sometimes I'll do it on my back porch if the weather's good. When I do TV stuff. Yeah, I'm very late for the break. If you're on hold, hang in there. I'm going to take the calls after the break, okay? Somebody said, why two mics? This mic is for the radio. The big mic here, this is for the radio and the main YouTube live stream. This mic is for the live stream with the green behind me. That's why there's two mics. But this one's for the radio and the mainstream, and this one's for the live stream with the green behind me. That's why. But if you're watching with the green behind me, go to my mainstream. You go to my mainstream, you get to see and hear all the audio that I play and the videos and all the images that I show and everything. That's right. But this is the mic, when I do TV interviews, this is the mic I use. You just don't see it because I'll have it hidden. But this is the mic I use on television. Here's the other one. See, I got two of them. Hey, DJI mic. But you don't see it. We'll be back in a couple of minutes. I'm going to remind you guys, if you're a Medicare recipient, it is Medicare open enrollment period, okay? This is the only time of year you can make changes to your existing Medicare policy. Call Chapter. They can help you no matter what state you're in. When you call, it's completely free, by the way. No catches, no gimmicks, no strings attached. You're going to get a live agent on the phone, and they have access to all the over 24,000 Medicare policies, so they'll make sure you got the right policy. And if you're happy with your policy, call them anyway, because a lot of insurance companies are pulling out of Medicare at the end of the year, all over the United States. So you want to make sure that your policy is going to be in place at the end of the year, in the new year. Also, the average Chapter client saves $1,100 a year on their Medicare. Isn't that something? $1,100. That's a lot of money. So give them a call. They'll make sure that you're in the right policy. They'll also make sure you're getting all the Medicare benefits you are entitled to. Millions of seniors are not getting all the benefits they're entitled to. Chapter will make sure that you do. So no matter where you're located in the United States, give them a call and they will help you. The number's up on the screen there, 805-754-3033. That's 805-754-3033, 805-754-3033 for Chapter. Give them a call. Because once open enrollment is over, it's over. And you can't make any changes till next year, so you'll be stuck with what you got. All right, let me see here. Now, I went way late on that break for that caller, but we have about a minute left, a little less than a minute, and we'll be back, and I'll go back to the phones. Boy, oh boy. 30 seconds and we'll be back. Call is on hold. Stand by. Welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian Craig. It's the Steve Kane Show. We're talking about the New York mayor's race. Had the big debate last night. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, yo, just get a little smile from me. I'm cracking my shirt right now on the air.
Okay, there we go. Boom, boom, boom. First dump of the day, Mike. You got to learn to understand mumbles. So those of you on hold, stand by while we wait for the delay to re-engage. Now, before I get back to the mayor's race, there's something else I want to share with you guys. Well, let me pull this up. This one here is, I want to play this clip. This is Candace Owens, and I shared this with the people watching in the pre-show online, but I want to play it to you guys on the radio. Candace Owens yesterday put a video out, and to me, it sounds like she's blaming President Trump or even accusing President Trump of killing Charlie Kirk. Listen to this. This is Candace Owens yesterday having another break from reality.
Just really needed to just take a breather and really process everything that happened with Charlie and what it kind of means in terms of where we are. And I think it is a circumstance where we just know that he was truly betrayed in one of the most egregious ways that I think I've ever seen. It has made me lose faith in politics. It has made me fully lose faith in Trump. And my heart aches for the fact that he gave so much of his life to Trump and to politics. And they just were like, nope, that is it. It serves us or it doesn't serve us, and we want to move on. And so here's a holiday. Bro, if they try to give me a holiday, what is with them giving people a holiday after they kill them? Why is that a thing? You know what I mean? They're like, oh, Martin Luther King, what about this holiday? What about this boulevard? Anyways, let me knock it off. Like, they're going to give Charlie Kirk a boulevard. They already did. They did in Israel. They gave him freaking boulevard. It's like, as soon as they give you a boulevard and a holiday, they definitely killed you. Okay, there's no question. They killed you. There's no way. That's like their signature thing. It's like that's what they do. It's the Fed signature. It's how they sign off after they murder you. They're like holiday and a boulevard. And it's never on a nice side of town either. Like Charlie Kirk Boulevard is not going to be a nice side of town. Anyways, I will be back on the 27th, you guys. Thank you guys for all the support throughout these couple of weeks, these last really kind of 6 weeks since Charlie died. And we will see you guys then. Just really needed.
Okay. You know, I share this for a few reasons, but one of them is this. She needs serious help, all right? She's obviously not sane. She has breaks from reality regularly, and it doesn't seem like there's anyone there to help her. You know, people have problems. And, you know, some of the things she said and done are crazy and ugly and hurtful and, you know, and everything else. And she's, you know, some of the things she said are even dangerous. But that's not why I'm sharing this right now. It's really sad that she doesn't have someone in her life that can do an intervention and get her under control. She needs psychological help. And I don't mean a therapist. She needs to spend time in a mental facility with professionals that can get her right. I don't know what her problems are. I'm not a doctor, but I've been following Candace Owens for years. I know you guys have too. And this is not the Candace Owens we used to know. She's had a major break from reality. And she's making boatloads of money on this. I mean, the crazy things she's saying are good for her views and everything. She's getting a lot of attention. But it's really the job of her husband to step up. And I don't know if he's tried or not. Is he overwhelmed by her celebrity? Is she that resistant to getting help? Has he tried to get her help? Are they making so much money with her nonsense, lunacy, that they don't want to stop it? You know what I mean? Sometimes, women, when they have, this isn't a sexist thing, but women have thyroid issues and such, and sometimes, as an example, and they get crazy. And they don't seek out treatment for the crazy. And they don't seek out treatment for the crazy because they like some of the things that's going on with them when they're crazy. Like they're not gaining weight, or they have more energy or something. You understand what I mean? So there's a lot of times when people are going through breaks from reality, they refuse treatment sometimes because they're so far gone mentally that they don't think they need help. Sometimes they know they should probably get some help, but they enjoy the benefits of the crazy. But I don't know what's going on with her, and it's really sad. And not only is it sad, she has a huge following. Millions of people listen to what she says every week and take what she says as the gospel. And anytime I talk about these things involving Candace Owens, I hear from people who are, she's speaking the truth that you won't speak, and you're jealous or this or that. Now, she was such an important person in our movement years ago, and I wish that she still was. She did a lot to help us do things. All right, if you're on hold, hang in there. I went long with our NYPD retired police officer. So this is a short segment. I'm going to take this one on time so we can be on time for the rest of the show. My name is Brian Craig. This is the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. We'll be back with your calls and more after this.
I'm excited to announce that we're having our biggest 3-in-1 sale ever with a limited edition product, a back-in-stock special, and a closeout deal you won't find anywhere else. So go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use your promo code to get our MyPillow bed sheets, only $29.88. Any color, any style, any size, even kings. Regular $119.98, only $29.88. Once they're gone for good. How about our My Towels? They're finally back in stock, but not for long. Get a 6-piece My Towel set, regular $69.98, now only $39.98. And for the first time and the only time ever, get our limited edition premium My Pillows. They're made with Giza cotton and designer gusset. Queen $17.98, Kings only $19.98. So go to mypillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use your promo code to get the best offers ever. Quantities are extremely limited, so order now.
All right, we'll be back in just a minute, guys. I got to get a couple things ready for when we're back. Okay. Okay. This is, I'm going to play this when we get back on the radio. This is one of the women complaining about not getting her food stamps come November 1st. It's one of the few I can play on the radio because she's not dropping F-bombs.
You know what? If I don't get my food stamps, I'm going to Walmart, I'm going to rack up, and I'm going to ride right out the door, and I dare anybody to put their hands on me. I'm going back to stealing, so you better lock your cars. I'm going to take everything in sight.
I mean, what's going on? There's a whole trend of people who are threatening to start shoplifting if they don't get their food stamps. Let me take a call while we're in the break. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, Evan from New York.
Hey, Evan, what's up?
Hey, I think I know why we have a guy like Zohan running for mayor in New York.
Yeah, why is that?
Because we have cucks like you that want to pick on Candace Owens.
No.
You know.
Yeah.
You want to just pick on Candace Owens all the time, you know? Even Steve Bannon said he had her back. So, I mean, come on.
So you think, excuse me, so you think that President Trump had something to do with the assassination of Charlie Kirk and Mossad?
I don't believe.
Well, that's what she's saying.
Had
that's what she's saying. I know you've got some. I know you've got the hots for her, and all of that, and it bugs you. But what, am I not supposed to talk about her because you're turned on by her? Get off the phone, you idiot. All right, we'll be back in about 30 seconds. That was a good one to take during the break. On the radio, not on the radio. Yeah. But there's been an entire trend of people that aren't just online complaining about not getting their food stamps. Women like her and men have been saying, if I don't get my food stamps on November 1st, that I'm entitled to shoplift. And, the entitlement mentality in the United States has gone to a level that I don't think people realized. And I'm going to talk about this in this trend. We'll get back to the mayor's race in a few minutes. But on my podcast yesterday afternoon, I played a whole bunch of clips of the people complain about not getting their food stamps on the 1st, but they use so much profanity, I can't play it on the radio. This is like the only clip where there's no profanity. So I can play this one on the radio, but I played a bunch on the podcast yesterday. All right, we got about 20 seconds. If I can stop choking. Welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian Craig. You're listening to The Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show on the radio since 1977, celebrating 49 years on the radio. Welcome, one and all. Okay, so the Schumer shutdown, one of the things that came out this week that's going to happen is come November 1st, people that are receiving food stamps are not going to be getting their food stamps. Now, before I get into this, I don't want this to be taken as a disclaimer because I don't do disclaimers, but this is an explanation because there are people that are listening to me right now that may be receiving government assistance, EBT, food stamps, SNAP, whatever you want to call it. I'm not necessarily talking about you. We have these great programs out there for people who need them, people that have fallen on hard times. People may have lost their job and are looking for work. Maybe they're elderly and they don't have enough money to scrape by. Maybe they're sick. Maybe they have a disability. It may be something. Maybe their husband has left them with the kids and they're in a desk. Whatever. If there are many people that receive government benefits that not only are entitled to them, but I'm glad they have them. And so is the president, and so is the MAGA movement and the Republican Party. We're not talking about people like you, okay? I don't want you to take it that way. But there was a trend that started yesterday on Twitter and on TikTok of people that are making these videos about they've gotten notices that they're not getting their food stamps on November 1st because of the Schumer shutdown. And on my podcast yesterday afternoon, I played a whole bunch of these and broke them down and talked about them. I'm only going to play one right now, and the reason I'm only going to play one is this is the only one I could find that doesn't have profanity in it. This is safe for the radio. The other ones have some form of language that I can't share on the radio. But this one sums it up. And this is one of many, but there's a common theme in this one that a lot of them were talking about. Listen.
You know what? If I don't get my food stamps, I'm going to Walmart, I'm going to rack up, and I'm going to ride right out the door, and I dare anybody to put their hands on me. I'm going back to stealing, so you better lock your cars. I'm going to take everything in sight.
Okay. There are a lot of people that are getting their food stamps cut off have been making these videos announcing that if they don't get their food stamps on the first of the month, that they're going to go out and start shoplifting. They're going to go out and start robbing stores. And they feel entitled to do this. They feel that if the government isn't giving them their food, that they have a right to go and steal. You know, we've talked over the years, all of us have talked about the entitlement mentality, the entitlement class. It's gotten much more severe, I think, than any of us could imagine. One of the clips I played on my podcast yesterday was a woman. She has 4 kids. She's getting $4,000 a month in SNAP benefits. Food stamps have 3 different names: SNAP benefits, EBT, or food stamps. Okay, you know that they're all. It's all the same thing. She's getting $4,000 a month. And the people that have been putting these videos online freaking out about their food stamps being cut off on the 1st, I haven't seen any of them who are people that are in need, right? They're all able-bodied. They're all able to work. They just don't feel that they should have to. One I played yesterday morning on the show was the young girl who said her grandparents raised her parents on food stamps. Her parents raised her on food stamps. She's on food stamps, and she's passing this on to her children. It's like the family business. You know, the entitlement mentality of what people are owed by the government is so severe. And you know, think about how hard you work or worked for what you have, and we have. I don't know how many millions of Americans who have been retired since the day they were born. And those of us that work have been supporting them all their lives and their retirement. It's a retirement plan for them. Now, they may not have some fancy big house, but they don't care, right? They got their Section 8, they got their SNAP EBT food stamps, and they got whatever cash assistance they get, and that's all they need, and that's all they want. They don't want for more, and they're happy with that. It's to me, it's not sad. It's angering. You know, I mean, there has not been a time in my adult life where I've not worked more than one profession, right? One job. I always have had something else going on, no matter what, right? And when I see people that have never worked in their life and are just angry, and you see these videos, a lot of them have come up with a whole plan. Well, who's gonna get my SNAP? Who's gonna give me my EBT? I'm gonna go rob, and if I don't rob, you better give it. You know, the idea of going out and finding a job at Walmart or a place like that doesn't even occur to them. It's like, well, I'm just going to go to Walmart and steal. Well, why don't you go to Walmart and apply for a job? Oh, no, how dare you? And I'm glad this happened because the internet, TikTok and X are just filled with people like this lady. Most of them using profanity. That's why I'm only playing the one now. But it's a big wake-up call to people over this Schumer shutdown. One of them got in trouble. She was doing TikToks about it, about getting her food stamp benefits, and the government caught on to her, and she's making a living on TikTok while she's receiving welfare, and she has to pay it back to the government I think she said $35,000. And, you know, I remember when the food stamp, you know, it used to be a long time ago, food stamps were actually food stamps. They were paper and they were different colors. The way I describe them is they kind of look like Canadian money. And people had to give these food stamp certificates to a cashier when they used them at the store. And somebody came up with the idea of doing the debit card. And they may have said, I don't remember exactly when, but I remember talking about it on the air when it happened. And Steve and I talked about this when you're the longest running radio show, things go back. And I remember us talking about it. It was a debit card that had the American flag on it. I don't know what EBT cards have now, but the original EBT card it looked like a debit card, and you would swipe it like a debit card at the checkout at the grocery store. And Steve and I were talking about that at the time when that was new, that this is a terrible thing, because what's happened is the food stamps turning into a debit card has taken the shame and embarrassment out of using food stamps. Because when people would use them before, everybody in line knew that they were on food stamps, and that embarrassment or shame that some people felt was a great motivator to get a job or not even go on them in the first place. But because they turned them into a debit card, there's no shame or embarrassment with EBT now. Nobody knows, and here we are with women like this.
You know what? If I don't get my food stamps, I'm going to Walmart, I'm going to rack up, and I'm going to ride right out the door, and I dare anybody to put their hands on me. I'm going back to stealing, so you better lock your cars. I'm going to take everything in sight.
Yeah, see, we're in a whole new place right now. I want to talk about Dr. Appleton. Listen, are you in pain? Well, that means you haven't gone to see Dr. Philip Appleton. The consultation with Dr. Appleton is free. Go to him and let him share with you what his robotic laser away pain treatment can do for you. I'll tell you what it's done for me. It's given me my life. When I had my, he's rid me of pain 7 times, but when I had that knee pain, it was in my right knee. I used to have to lean on a chair next to me on the air, and I was always in pain on the air. And it was tough to be on the air in pain because it would make me tired. I was focused on my knee. It was just awful. And now that over 30 years of suffering was gone after just 2 treatments with Dr. Appleton, and he rid me of pain 6 times after that. Sometimes arthritis pain, sometimes for injuries. It works. So give him a call. Appointments are not necessary. Walk-ins are welcome, even on Saturday. 954-973-0710. 954-973-0710. That's 954-973-0710. And online, AppletonCairo.com. All right? Give him a call. Say bye-bye to your pain like I've done 7 times. We'll be back after our top of the hour break. I'm Brian, Steve Kane Show. Back after this. All right. Boy, oh boy, guys. I tell you, what a day. Okay, I'm going to get into that next. Okay, we got to cue a couple things up here. Okay. Stand by, guys. If you're on hold, hang in there. We'll be back shortly, guys. I'm just queuing some things up for the next segment. All right. If you're on hold, stand by. Welcome, everyone. If you're new, my name's Brian. This is where MAGA comes to talk. Okay, where are we? We'll be back in less than a minute. All right, hang in there, guys. Welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian Craig. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Conservative
Oh,
Doug.
hey, Doug.
You know, first I'd like to say something about this Canal Street. You know, my office used to be pretty close. I would go on Canal Street. There was an electronics store I used to frequent. And anyway, everybody had, this from years ago, everybody had these fake stuff going and being sold. And there's police officers walking around, and nobody seemed to say anything about it. It seemed like that was the place that was, even though it was against the law to do it, that nobody was going to say anything. So that I could see the New Yorkers were getting annoyed because that was a place that they were freaking if they wanted to buy this stuff.
Yep.
And I looked at some of the stuff, and some of the stuff was pretty good knockoffs. Some was garbage, but some was pretty good.
Well, anyway, I don't buy counterfeit anything. That's just me.
No, I didn't
not
buy
knowingly. But anyway, anything more relevant?
No, that was basically it.
Okay.
The other thing is this New York race. I think that it's going to be this guy. I don't think he's going to get in. I'm hoping everybody's
I hope you're right.
Wake up and we'll soon see. And it's going to be a terrible thing if he gets in, and the whole country will suffer because of what's going to happen.
Well, Doug, I'm going to move on, but I appreciate the call. I hope you're right. He doesn't think Zohan's going to win. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Mike from Ohio.
Hey, Mike, what's on your mind?
Hey, I have a couple things, but the first thing is about Candace Owens, and I have a take on Candace Owens. I don't follow her, so I mean, all I know is like some YouTube videos that would have popped up, and that was like before the last election.
Yeah.
And didn't she just have a baby?
She's had a couple babies, yeah.
Yeah, and here, because my wife, and having babies and postpartum depression. Okay, I'm kind of giving her a pass on some of this.
Right. So you believe that pregnancy can cause Joseph Goebbels-like anti-Semitism in a person, in a woman?
No,
Yeah,
I don't,
no.
and I'm not agreeing with what she's saying, but
She looks nuts. She looks
another-
completely nuts to me.
Well, postpartum depression is a real thing with
Yes,
women.
it
There
is.
is no doubt about that.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm thinking that might be one of the reasons why.
Yeah.
You know, just one of a possibility.
You know,
of quite
she
a
get.
few,
You know,
but
I'll
that
tell
could be
you,
one of
it's
them.
you know, she gets away with it for a couple of reasons. One, there's a lot of people that like to hear that stuff, right? Because there's a lot of people who feel that way, that are hateful with when it comes to Jews, so there's an audience for that. But a lot of them, I took a call a little while ago. A lot of the reason she gets away with it is because she's good looking, right? And, you know, it really goes to show you the discrimination in our society isn't racial. It's more about looks. If you're good looking, you can get away with a lot. I mean, look at this Luigi, the CEO killer, right, of the healthcare guy. He's got like more women wanting to marry him. Mangione. He's got like 1,000 women want to marry him. And Candace Owens, you know, like that last guy that I was talking to, he obviously has got a sexual attraction to her, and you know, and all that stuff. So it goes to show you, if you're good looking, your life is set for you. It doesn't matter what color you are.
Yeah, I did agree with your take about why isn't her husband kind of, you know, hey, you know, you need to pull back on that a bit.
Well, he's weird. I've seen him on some interviews. He's weird. I think. I'm not saying he's crazy or anything, but he's a strange dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's from England. He's British.
Can I make a statement about the New York mayoral race?
Of course. Why not?
Yeah, you know, me being in Ohio, I don't think that's going to affect me at all being in New York. But here's my other thought on that is, okay, that when Mamdani wins, which he's obviously going to, okay, that's, you know, not going to affect me in Ohio, but, you know, that's almost like a foothold of this Muslim crap that they're trying to pull in New York.
Of course it'll affect you in Ohio. I mean, if, you know, how many, you know, if New York City is the most important city on the planet, it's, you know how airports have hubs? I mean, airlines have hubs in major airports?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
New York City is the hub for the planet, for the whole world. It's the
biggest city in the world,
well,
I think.
No, it's not about being the biggest city. It's what's based there. One, it's the center of worldwide finance because of Wall Street. And I know people are, they don't trade on the floor. Everybody works at home. It's the center of world international finance. It's also the center for the media and other things too. But so, you know, so goes New York, so goes the rest of the country. If New York City becomes London, basically what we're talking about is a Muslim city, how will that impact our financial markets? How will that impact our media? You know, listen, when prior to 9/11, I don't know of a single Muslim person that was a prominent person that was in media now or anything like that. Now, Fox News has a Muslim reporter and anchor, that Aisha girl she's their congressional correspondent. Sometimes she fills in and anchors shows. Aisha, she's Muslim. And she's always giving Trump a hard time. MSNBC has multiple Muslim people on the air. Now, I'm not hating on Muslims, but there's a change coming. And if you think about it, before 9/11, how many Muslims did you know at a national level in this country? You know, like Muhammad Ali and stuff doesn't count. I'm talking about like Middle Eastern people and stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Ilhan Omar.
Yeah. I mean, look at what's happened, you know, you know, what's happened in Minnesota and in Michigan or Springfield, Ohio. These are things that happened after 9/11. And prior to 9/11, there weren't that many Muslims here, and if there were, you didn't know it because people were assimilating and becoming Americans, becoming Muslim Americans. Now, you know, people like Zohan doesn't consider himself a New Yorker or an American. He's a Muslim Ugandan in his mind, right? So you know, that's a problem for you in Ohio and me in Florida, wherever you are, when our most important city, which is the most important city on the planet, New York City, If it goes down the tubes like London did, that'll affect our entire country and the world forever and ever and ever. It will.
Yeah, because I like Curtis Sliwa, but I mean I'm not going to be able to vote. But and I know him and his red beret, but that was just part of his thing that he used to do in New York a long time ago. That he was like helping Guardians or something. It was called
the Guardian Angels. Well, let me tell you, now when Curtis Sliwa was in his heyday, I was a kid. And I thought he was cool. They made a TV movie about him. I don't remember who played him in the TV movie. I thought he was cool. But since then, I've run it. I haven't been friends with any Guardian Angels. But over the years, through the course of my work, I've met Guardian Angels. And you know what? They're all weirdos, okay, that I've met. And I'm not talking about that guy, Ron. There used to be this old man named Ron that used to hang around the radio station. Even though we'd say, don't come here, he was a Guardian Angel, and he was like 80 years old, and he wore the beret and the T-shirt and the boot. It was ridiculous. But as an example, after the Parkland shooting at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas here in South Florida, somehow the Guardian Angels worked their way into being the guards of the gate at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas after the shooting. And they had like a Guardians Angels checkpoint. And I used to drive, our old studio was down the street from Wings Plus in Coral Springs. I used to drive by there to and from work every day. And I'd get off the air and drive by and see those Guardian Angels out there. They're like George Zimmermans. They're like wannabe somebodies. They're usually, you know what I mean? And maybe back in the heyday, the Guardian Angels were some elite force that, I kind of thought, when I was growing up, I kind of thought the Guardian, now again, I was a little kid. I thought the Guardian Angels were a cross between Charles Bronson and the Warriors. Remember the Warriors from the movie with Michael Beck? Yeah, Warriors, come out to me. So I thought they were kind of like a cross between that. But every Guardian Angel I've ever met in my life has been a weirdo who is some desperate guy who wants to be somebody. So they get involved in this and they feel important, And now again, I'm not talking about Guardian Angels in New York City. I'm in Florida, but they've always been around. Radio stations and stuff I was at, and they've always been weirdos. I've never met one who wasn't.
I just remember them, riding the subways, walking the bad neighborhoods, and seemed like they were doing very good.
I'm sure they did. I'm not saying they didn't. I'm not saying they didn't.
Yeah.
But I'm talking about today, and Curtis Sliwa, he doesn't seem all that tough to me. He had I might pull this up. I might play.
I don't even know how, he definitely older than what he looks, I think.
Oh yeah, he had an outburst on WABC radio. I'm going to see if I do have it. I'll pull it up and I'll play it coming up. He had an outburst on the air over there. Listen, I appreciate the call. All right, take care. If you're on hold, hang in there. I certainly would like to hear your thoughts on all these things at 888-465-2631. October, we got a week and a day left of October. October is Sudden Cardiac Arrest Awareness Month. That's right, Cardiac Arrest Awareness Month. And what that is exactly, it's a nationwide observance. It's each year dedicated to raising awareness about sudden cardiac arrest and life-saving things that you can do to make a difference. Cardiac arrest, it's when your heart suddenly and unexpectedly stops beating. If that happens, you collapse, the person becomes unresponsive, and they stop breathing normally. I know, pretty scary, huh? Sudden cardiac arrest is the leading call. It's what I thought I was going to be facing, really, because before I had my heart scan, I thought one day I was going to have a sudden cardiac arrest. It's a leading cause of death, but it can be, in many cases, reversed with immediate action. So don't wait until there's some warning sign. Take preventative action right now. Get your free heart scan, valued at $699, with just a few minimum requirements at Life Imaging FLA. Pick up your cell phone and dial pound 250 and say heart scan. All right, that's pound 250 and say heart scan. You'll be connected in just a few seconds, okay? So go and do that. My name is Brian, Steve Kane Show. We'll be right back. All right. I've got so much going on here. I really need an assistant. I've got so much. Okay. That we'll do those in. Okay. Let me see if I can find that. I do have that Curtis Sliwa thing on the radio somewhere. Let me see if I can find it. I know I have it because I know I tweeted it yesterday. Let me look for it here. Okay, here it is. I gotta queue it up.
Beat the market and your competitors with the Acres Home Builder Index so you know where everyone else is going.
Okay. This was on with Sid Rosenberg. Okay. I'll play this when we get back. If you're on hold, hang in there. Okay. Oh, I just got a text. My haircut appointment is confirmed. Do you guys have to make appointments where you get your haircut? I hate it. It never used to be that way. And I pay in advance. And I tip in advance. It's an inconvenience. We'll be back in less than a minute. Less than a minute. If you're on hold, hang in there. I got a few things I got to get to, and I'm going to do this Curtis Sliwa thing here when we get back, but there's something with Trump that has not been reported. I got to get back to that in a minute. Stand by. Welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show on the radio since 1977, celebrating 49 years on the radio. Callers on hold, you hang in there. I got got a bunch of stuff I got to get into. There's two things with Trump that no one's talking about I got to get to. But I want to, I mentioned this before the break. Curtis Sliwa went on WABC radio yesterday with Sid Rosenberg and quit. He has a show on WABC, and he quit on the air yesterday when he was talking with Sid Rosenberg. I'm going to play this for you. It's when these legends fall apart, right? It's heartbreaking. Here it is. This was WABC radio yesterday. Curtis Sliwa, he's quitting. He's talking to Sid Rosenberg here.
But I will say this, Curtis. I will say this because I don't know what happens off the air, but I did watch that debate last week. He never once went after you, and like 10 times out of nowhere, unprovoked, not even part of a regular discussion, you would attack him. He did not go after you on television last week. He did not. Did he?
In fact, he agreed with me twice, and Zoran Mandami agreed with me 3 times.
Right.
That's why I won the debate. Sid, you're up on the stage. It's a debate. There are 3 candidates. And remember this. Your guest, Chaz Palminteri, great in the Bronx there, remember?
Yep.
And the kid asked him, Lilo, is it better to be loved or feared?
Mm-hmm.
And he says, it's fear that keeps them loyal to me. One thing I know, win or lose, everybody loves Curtis. As you know, everybody loves Curtis. But everybody fears Andrew Cuomo. And I'm telling you, I will never capitulate, bend, buck, bow to a socialist or a man who's made his reputation by having fear that he will destroy your lives. He needs to apologize to the families of the 15,000 who died as a result of his executive order when he was governor during the lockdown and pandemic. He refuses to do so. He says it's a Republican conservative cabal of Talk TV. He maligns Janice Dean. You know that. This is a brave woman who's taken him on and risked everything, and he won't even apologize. Sid, everybody makes mistakes. I've made mistakes. The sign of a decent human being is when you're confronted, you apologize. And I'm waiting for the apologies of my former friends and colleagues at WABC who said that I'm running a lazy campaign and that I'm selfish. That's why you will never see me there again at WABC.
Okay, so he just quit on the air because the owner of ABC, who's a Republican, by the way, very good one, he wanted Curtis Sliwa to drop out and endorse Cuomo to stop Zohan from becoming mayor.
Where can people help you out with your campaign?
Oh, yeah. Well, we don't need to get... So, we all... Marjorie Taylor Greene is upset with those of us who are saying support Cuomo. We agree with all the bad things about Cuomo. This is above and beyond that, right? The enemy of my enemy is my friend kind of area where we're at right now. We're just in a spot. I'm going to take a call or two, and then after the bottom of the hour break, there's a couple big things with Trump that no one's talking about I'm going to get into, all right? You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, yes, this is Sandra from Indiana.
Hey.
Hey, I was calling concerning the EBT card.
Yes.
If I can give you just a quick history.
I don't know about that. I mean, what's your thoughts on the topic? I don't,
Okay. Well, back in the 70s, my mother was refused assistance.
Mm-hmm.
And she was a nurse and made about $10,000 a year.
Mm-hmm.
And we had to eat spoon bread for 2 months.
Mm-hmm.
We collected bottles and cans, my younger brother and I, to help buy the milk, bread, flour, etc. And our dogs ate biscuits and milk gravy.
Mm-hmm.
Then I had a heart attack in 2000.
Oh my!
We tried to get food stamps, my husband and I. They told me the only way that they could help me with food stamps, because we were buying a house, was to sell our home. And I just wonder how these people would like to go 2 months eating nothing but spoon bread.
Mm-hmm. Well, listen, we
always had food.
Here's the thing. With all these people that you're seeing, the idea of finding a way to feed themselves, it's not even on their radar. It doesn't even occur to them. It's not like it's not even like they're opposed to work. Working is not even something that they've ever considered in their life. Which is the country's changed. And the reason it's this way is because, this is what was going on with the illegals. The Democrats have so many millions of people that are dependent on the government, and that's how they control them. Vote for us. Those Republicans are going to take away your benefits. They're going to make you work. And some of the videos and the people that have been speaking out, they've been getting letters in the mail, food stamp recipients, SNAP benefits recipients. Some of them have to work a little bit, part-time. Some of them have to, one guy I saw, they told him he had to do 20 hours a week of community service, like some type of volunteering. They're requiring people to do things. And they're not only are they outraged by it, they're so entitled. They feel justified in being pissed off and are going public with it, right? You know what I mean? It's the country's changed, and it really shows you what the Democrats have done. It started with Lyndon Johnson with the war on poverty, and it's gotten to a level that has been smoked out because of this Schumer shutdown.
Right. And my mother, she worked full time. She was raising 2 kids.
Yeah.
And she sacrificed everything until she got back on her feet when we had to move because of an abusive relationship with our
Well, I
stepdad.
don't know what the standards were then and why your mom was denied, but there apparently were no standards now.
They told her she made too much money, and RNs back there were making about $10,000 a year.
Well, $10,000 in the 70s, I don't know what that would be today, but that might have not been that bad.
Mm-hmm. Well, it was rough because she kept us in nice apartments out of any low-income housing or anything.
Yeah.
And after she got on her feet 2 months later, we were okay.
Well, see, that's what it's for. What they're meant for is to help people that are down on their luck until they get back on their feet, unless somebody is disabled or elderly. And what's happened is it's become a lifelong retirement plan for people.
Right. And when I had my heart attack in 2000,
someone told me that somebody just told me in the chat room, adjusted for inflation, that would be about $50,000 today. I don't know. Maybe.
Well, when I had my heart attack in 2000, we only needed them until I got back to work about 3 months later.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we were told we had to sell our house if we wanted to get any help.
Yeah. Well, they've changed that up now. Well, I'll tell you another thing, too. This class of people that we're talking about aren't like you, who fall in hard times and need some help. These are people that know how to work the system and know how to give the right information that they got to get their benefits. You understand what I mean? They lie. So they know how to game the system. You and we don't know how to game the system. So people like us in time of need get denied because we don't know how to game the system like they do.
My mother put herself through nursing school by working. I put myself through nursing school by working.
Oh, that's
no
awesome.
Government assistance.
That's awesome.
And my 2 brothers were in the military.
That's
how
awesome.
they got their experience.
Well, listen, I got to run, but thanks so much. All right, you take care. All right, the rest of you on hold, hang in there. There's something with involving Trump that no one's talking about. I'm going to get to when we get back, but I want to talk about coastal weight loss secret. It's Halloween is a week from tomorrow. All right, so a week from Saturday is November 1st. It is the holiday season. You've got Thanksgiving. You've got Christmas, you've got Hanukkah, you've got New Year's, you've got the Christmas parties, you got everything. You want to look good. When I first met Dr. Zuckerman over at Coastal Weight Loss Secret, it was less than a month before our last cruise. And Dr. Zuckerman said, well, how much you want to lose? And I said, well, we've got our cruise coming up in a month. I want to lose 25 pounds. He said, no problem. Like, okay, whatever. I did. I lost 25 pounds in 3 weeks, a week before the cruise. Isn't that something? So go call Coastal Weight Loss Secrets. Schedule your no-charge consultation. You have time. You want to look great. You want to be thin. You want to feel great when you go to your Christmas party. When you see the family for Thanksgiving and Christmas that you only see once a year or every 20 years or every 5 years. Give them a call. They can help you no matter where you're located in the United States. Schedule your no-charge consultation. My results are typical, okay? 561-247-6300. 561-247-6300. And online, coastalweightlosssecret.com. We'll be right back. Okay, what do I left? Okay. Okay. I walk by my big vice in life, jelly beans. I love jelly beans. I saw some jelly. I just grabbed a handful. I know. Everybody loves jelly beans. I'm like Ronald Reagan. Hello? Okay, okay, I gotta check the clock. I'm not sure I got time to call him, but I'll try. Okay. Gosh darn it. Okay, real quick. Almost out of time. You there? Yeah. Hold on, Steve. Hold on. All right, Steve. 10 seconds. 10 seconds. 10 seconds.
Can he be on the speakerphone, Brian?
Yeah. We'll see. All right, we are back. I'm Brian. You're listening to the Steve Kane Show. Steve Kane joining us. Hey, Steve.
Good morning. How are you today?
Okay, all right. This is the phone that I call the testosterone phone. This phone, I got to get this phone. It's like the loudest phone I've ever seen someone use. All right. Well, there's a lot going on. I was going to talk.
Tell me about it. I've been up all night watching the news.
I wanted to share. We may have had 2 assassination attempts on President Trump this week. There's a second one this week that I haven't seen in the news at all. I saw it yesterday. I just want to mention them. Now, there was the one over the weekend where they found the sniper's nest in the tree by the airport in Palm Beach where Air Force One is parked. All right, that's one. But there's been another incident. And this was.
Well, tell me about the second one, because I followed. We talked about this for the last 2 days. I don't consider the first one an assassination attempt.
What it was? It was being set up. A sniper's nest in a tree. So
a sniper's nest in a tree. Need more than that to classify. We're just swapping different definitions here.
I guess word games.
In my judgment. It's not the first one. That's why we couldn't find any follow-up news articles on it.
No, no, that's not true. Bongino and Kash Patel talked about it. They've taken the sniper's nest. They've shipped it to Quantico, and it's in the FBI lab now. And they shut down pretty much all of West Palm Beach over the weekend, sweeping the entire area all weekend long. No, it was a big. They had a massive Secret Service sweep down Southern Boulevard in Palm Beach all weekend long before it was even released. The story wasn't released until Sunday after they finished the sweep. No, it was a big deal. It was huge. Just hasn't been in the news. But the hold on, Steve, put you on hold for a second because you came on a little earlier than I was expecting. Okay, now there's a second one. There's a second thing. Have you heard about the second one, Steve?
No, that's the one I didn't miss.
A man was arrested. He drove his car pretty high speed, apparently, into the front gate of the White House trying to get in.
Yes, I heard that.
Okay, so
you don't classify that as an assassination attempt.
Yeah, a nutcase who's trying to get to the president. Yeah, absolutely.
Well, it's definitely a nutcase, but all right.
They're all nuts, Steve. This guy's got. President Trump has had more attempts on him than maybe all the other presidents combined at this point. I mean, it's endless. I mean, we got
If you're going to classify the crashings at the gate, which, by the way, are not totally new, they've happened before. I need more than that to consider.
There was, the couple I remember off my top of my head. Okay. When Clinton was president, a guy climbed the fence and ran to the White House and got shot. When Gerald Ford was president, a guy got over the fence at the White House with a 12 gauge and he got shot. Okay, so there's been incidents, but President Trump has had more incidents than all of them, and they're all lunatics. But what's going on here, Steve? It's the left are inciting violence.
Well, there's no question. Let me just say, and this goes back to what we talked about yesterday. By the way, do you know what great programming they have at ABC in New York overnights? They have a news block that runs overnight, all night.
Are you talking about the radio or TV?
Yes.
Yeah, ABC radio.
Yeah, I'm talking radio. I mean, so I was up watching what was going on most of the evening. But again, I keep coming up with the same thing. This is shaping up. You can't use what's going on before this, the stuff with what's going on in out west and in all the stuff we've been watching. New York is not going to be like that at all. It's going to be a war. I mean, I can see it. And it's going to be, Trump at the head of one army, and this Bogliani, or whatever his name is going to be the guy on this coast.
Well, the debate last night was all three of them were awful, which means Zohan won, right? and he got one jab in it at Cuomo. I was wondering, was Cuomo ever good at debate, or has he just walked through life without having to fight for anything? Because he's really the worst. Mamdani, he pulled the Trump. He took a page from Trump's first campaign. He had a woman that had been sexually harassed by Cuomo in the audience, and he pointed her out and asked Mayor Cuomo or Governor Cuomo to apologize to her. And Cuomo was speechless. He was just destroyed. He never recovered from it, and he was weak. I was shocked because I always thought he was like an attack dog, but I guess I was wrong. He's a weakling and poor debater.
Well, he's not great. There's no question.
No doubt about that.
You can't. This goes back to a lot of what we were talking about yesterday. We're tending to judge when we guess what's going to come down from this point on. We tend to judge him by what's going on up to this point, which is largely the West Coast. And it's not going to be anything like that. It's going to be a personal war between the mayor of New York and the president of the United States.
You mean the Muslim world?
And it's going to be, well, I don't know about the Muslim world, but I know about New York, and I can tell you it's not going to be pretty.
Well, his campaign, they're already making announcements on staff. In the Zohan campaign, they announced that they're going to ask the police commissioner that's currently the police commissioner to stay on. Yeah, what? So she could take the heat for his screw-ups? She should not stay on. She should retire. She should freaking retire. They're going to blame everything on her. But there's only now President Trump. He always wins. But there's one danger to him cutting off the funding. If he cuts off the funding, what they'll try to do is blame Trump for all the failures of Mamdani by saying, well, the president cut off all our funding. We wish we didn't have all these rapes and murders and things, and carjackings, but we lost our federal funding or something. They'll try to use that to blame him for their problems.
Well, don't they always do that?
Yeah.
I mean, nothing new with that. But I'm just saying that when you visualize what's going down up till this point, and how the crowds have been orchestrated and the riots in the street and all that, you haven't seen a fraction of what's going to happen. Nothing that's gone before is going to compare to what is left.
That's right.
I'm sad to say.
That's right.
To what comes.
Now,
it's going to be personal between the mayor and the president.
If you're on hold, hang in there. I want to take a moment to talk about the Sloman Shield link. This is super cool. The Sloman Shield link connects to your Sloman Shield, and it's an all-in-one ecosystem where you can integrate all the devices in your house to your Sloman Shield. And with the push of a button, you can do everything. You can adjust your blinds. You can, when you turn your alarm off, when you turn your alarm on and leave your house, your thermostat goes down. You can set it when you pull up in the driveway, the doors are unlocked, your house lighting comes on, the music comes on, the AC's on, everything's perfect. It's absolutely amazing. Get your TV on, get your computer on, get your music on. You can do everything with just the push of one button on your phone. The Sloman Shield link is really, basically, you're turning your house into George Jetson with it, is what you're doing. Give them a call. It's absolutely amazing. Oh, yeah, it works on the devices you already have. Okay? That's important. 833-283-5050. 833-283-5050. That's 833-283-5050. We'll be right back. All right, I'm going to put you on hold for a minute, Steve. Be right back. Cuckoo. Shh. My cat's meowing. He wants something. I can't go get it now. All right, Steve, we'll be back in 20 seconds.
Okay.
Can't get it back on the air.
All right, no. All right, welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian. Steve Kane is here. You're listening to Florida's longest-running radio show, The Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1977, celebrating 49 years on the radio. You want to take a call or two?
Yeah, let's do it. I'd love to hear from some ex-New Yorkers to see if I'm the only one,
well,
if I've gotten paranoid here.
I heard from a retired police officer earlier, and she's got her service weapon on standby. She's nervous about the crime. I mean, it's, they're freaked out. A lot of New Yorkers are scared, All right,
Yeah.
let's go to the phones. But we got to have some New Yorkers in the audience, no doubt about that. New Yorkers go to the front of the line today. All right? You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
This is Joe from Northern Kentucky.
Mm-hmm. Now, here we go. Yes, Northern Kentucky.
Yeah, Northern Kentucky. Why don't you just call in like yourself instead of with the phony acts?
Exactly.
You don't think your voice is recognizable to everybody in the audience?
Why do they always say they're from Kentucky?
Am I being...
Why don't you come on like yourself?
What I want to say? I am
Go ahead.
myself, and I got a point to make. What I want to do is tie the two points together between Mom Donnie winning New York City, if that happens, and SNAP benefits being cut off.
Okay.
Now, I would like to tie those up in a nice, neat little bow for you. Now, the thing about the SNAP benefits being cut off is so funny because red states are the majority recipients of SNAP benefits because they're dead last in every metric imaginable when it comes to quality of life, and for decades. So America first seems to be America last when you're talking about republic.
Well, I got a lot of bumper stickers there. You got a bunch of bumper stickers there.
America first. Ask Argentina is America first.
All right, Evita.
Yeah, there you go.
Is that it? Is that it?
He didn't have anything to begin with. Oh, he hung up on his own, Steve. He hung up on his own.
Thanks.
He's drinking that Kentucky whiskey. You know, why are all of these seminar callers, why do they all claim to be from Kentucky? I don't get that. That's like part of the script. They're always from Kentucky. You know, I don't get that.
They're trying to do, they each try to do their own different accent.
Yeah.
Assuming that we don't recognize them, but they sound the same. They sound just as stupid with or without the accent.
Yeah. You know, the thing
Anyway.
you know, what I was talking about earlier, though, is the food stamps are getting cut off with the Schumer shutdown. And and liberal, and what they've done is these liberals that are on food stamps are going online making videos freaking out about it, and they're not the kind of people that you would think would need the food stamps, right? They're young, most of them are in their 20s. They're able-bodied. They may have Trump derangement syndrome, but they're not physically disabled. They just don't want to work. And, this Schumer shutdown has been such a great thing for us because it's putting a spotlight on so many things. Did you catch the president's press conference in the Oval Office with the NATO guy yesterday?
No, I missed that one.
That one was beautiful. Well, we took out a drug boat. This war on drugs, we've taken out boats and submarines, but they've been in the Atlantic Ocean, but we took one out in the Pacific. Now we've got a 2-ocean war going on. They took one out in the Pacific on the other side of South America the other day. And one of the reporters said, well, how do you know, who's in this? Who're in these boats? And, and President Trump and Marco Rubio just ripped them. But, this is Marco Rubio, when he is taking the lead in this war on drugs. I get, he's Cuban American, and I guess he's tired of Latin people, South American, Hispanic people, whatever, having to live under the terror of these drug cartels. And he said, we know who's in the boats before they hit the water. And what they're doing, they're just waiting for them to get to international waters. So as soon as they get to international waters, they blow them up. And I was surprised he said that. It seemed like maybe Marco gave a little bit too much information on that because he was aggravated at the reporters and everything. But this is a beautiful, beautiful thing. And this is one war I'm in favor of, this war on drugs, blowing these drug boats out of the water. I mean, and Trump's like...
It seems like another one of those 90-10 issues.
You would...
That the Democrats are always getting on the wrong side of.
I think these issues are 99.9 to 0.1% issues, and the Democrats are in the 0.1. I mean, all these things. And what the Democrats are lacking, they don't have any leadership. There's no single person in the Democrat Party who has their act together enough to lead anything. And I don't know if, I kind of think that the Democrat Party is in an anarchy state right now. There's no leadership.
Oh, they're a total breakdown.
Yes. Yeah.
There is, basically, they're on the verge, we're on the verge of being able to say, there basically is no Democratic Party at this point.
No, they have
Who would it be?
Yeah, usually somebody will take a lead, like the Speaker if they're not in charge of the Congress, whoever the leader in one of the houses will take charge. Hakeem Jeffries is a weak person. He's just weak. He has ever since President Trump put that video of him up.
We don't have anybody. There's nobody even to pretend.
No, they were dreaming for a while about Governor Cuomo, and these debates are showing how weak he is. Governor Newscomb, he's useless. And Schumer, he's just a senile old coot, who can't get anything together. So they don't. And they don't have anybody they can even bring out of retirement, right? Like they can't, like a Bill Clinton or Obama. None of them. They have none of the old Democrats are coming out of retirement to try to take charge of it. It's almost like Obama and the rest just
well,
don't care.
I think the lines are going to be, demarcation are going to be much easier to see once this mayoral election is over. Because what's going to happen? New York is a blue state, and basically the Democratic Party runs New York. So it's going to be very personal between Don and the mayor.
There's only one thing I can see that could save New York from Mamdani. The Democrat Party machine, how much juice do they still have? Because if Zohan comes in with his cast of characters, the party machine loses their criminal operation. Right? You know, all the thievery they do from the city and everything. They lose control of the city. They lose control of the corruption, and that's how they all make their money. And I was surprised that the Democrat Party machine let it get this far. Now that he would have been disgraced or something by now. I want to talk about Jupiter Joe Thomas. You know, this thing about annuities, it just blows my mind. I don't know why everyone's not in annuities. You know, with annuities, your money's never at risk. No matter what happens in the stock market, you don't lose a dime. And you're guaranteed a revenue stream in your retirement. And, you know, it's like a sure thing. It's amazing. And, you know, I talked to Joe. He was in the studio a while back, and I said to him, you know, when you have like a high net worth person come in for annuity, somebody who's rich, or someone who's working class, what do they want? He says they want the same thing, an income stream. And he told me a story. He had a woman who was working at the deli at Publix, and she retired in an annuity, and she's making more money now than when she was slaving at the deli at Publix. Isn't that something? In her retirement, she's enjoying her life. So give Joe Thomas a call. He is offering free consultations, which you can take advantage of no matter where you're located. His number is 561-743-0999, 561-743-0999, and online, JupiterJoe.com. All right, we got 1 hour to go. If you're on hold, stand by. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. Steve Kane is here. My name is Brian Craig. Our number is 888-465-2631, 888-465-2631. We'll be back right after this break. All right, I'm going to put you on hold, Steve. Hold on. All right, we got 30 seconds, Steve.
Okay, sounds good. Can you hear me okay?
Yep. Hold on.
Can't find it.
Hold on. All right, welcome back. I'm Brian. Steve Kane is here. You're listening to Florida's longest running radio show, The Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1977. Did you?
Have we heard from Richie yet today?
Of course.
Of all the people, of all the callers that are from New York, the one who best is familiar with the politics of it and whose judgment I would trust would be Richie's.
I know he's
not your favorite, but
what are you talking about? I have no problems with Richie.
He knows New York.
He's already called. You want him to call back, is what you want him to do. He's already called once, but I guess he can call back if you want. The rest of you on hold, hang in there. But the thing about Mamdani, it's not about his liberalism or democratic socialism or communism. It's about the Islamification of New York City. That's what his plan is, and that's why he's there. I mean, that's it.
There's no question. But what I'm saying is, it's going to be more than people are anticipating right now. It's not going to be. You're not going to be able to judge what's been going on up till this point by what's going to happen from this point on.
A lot of people...
It's going to get crazy.
Yeah, a lot of people are talking about an exodus from New York. Well, that may be true, but there also...
that's going to happen.
But there also may be a huge move to New York by Muslims. Right? I mean...
That's possible.
That's, I wouldn't be surprised. Also, there'll be a lot of other new people who come to town, not just Muslims, some wonderful people like, pimps, organized crime leader, because he's legalizing, he's going to let all these crimes be legal. So pimps are going to come with their prostitutes, right?
Well, it's going to be something we haven't seen up till this point, I can tell you that.
Yeah. So, while there may be an exodus, there's going to be a mass migration to New York, too. All right, let me put you on hold, Steve, while I answer all these phones. This is probably, this line here, I think is Rich. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
How are you? My name is Vinny. I was from New York.
Oh, Vinny.
I was the first responder at the World Trade Center. I worked for Office of Emergency Management. I left there in 2004 after we cleaned up the Trade Center and it became a construction site. I grew up in Queens. That became a big stronghold for Muslim areas, Ozone Park, Richmond Hill, Astoria.
So how do you see your credentials pass now that we've established that you know what you're talking about? How do you see this playing out from the election day on?
Not well. I mean, if Sliwa would be good for the city. As bad as...
Well, he's not going to have a chance. Well, let's just start with... No. Okay, so let's just assume that Magnani is going to be the mayor and start from that point, because that's realistic,
It's going to be a mass exodus. It's going to be a mass exodus. My family left there back in 2006, between 2006 and 2010. They went up to Pennsylvania, and they would never look back. And I was a diehard New Yorker. I worked there for many years, and little by little, the politics, the bureaucracy of it all changed. I mean, I got family that's still chiefs in the fire department, and even that's been changing with different rules and stuff. I think they're going to have a very, very large exodus.
Do you agree with me? I predict that there is going to be a major conflict. It's going to boil down to two sides, the mayor's forces and the president's forces. Do you agree with that? And who do you see winning that battle?
I would hope Trump does. I mean, that place is going to get very chaotic. It's been chaotic. I know that the certain agencies that I still keep in touch with are training for certain things that I really can't discuss on the radio. So, I mean, they're preparing on the back burner for a lot of mass of everything. Just a lot of different things going to be happening if this happens. The good people are going to try to leave and get out, and that's basically it. I mean, it was a great city. Would it ever
it sounds
back?
like you're bugging out, like there's like you're evacuating.
I'm not bugging out. I just saw something that was a great place at one time. Go down the tubes with Democrats and all the policies that they
here's the thing I've been trying to explain to people. Zohan's not a Democrat. He's not a Democrat socialist. He's not a communist. And everyone's talking about.
He hasn't been up till this point.
No,
but I wouldn't count on the fact that there won't be changes.
No,
because basically the people that represent, shall we call them the Muslim interests, haven't really acted as a unit yet so much.
Well, no, Steve, what I mean is it's not about those things. And the reason that he's winning is not just because of these stupid New Yorkers. The guys running against him won't call him out. Like, as an example, his purpose is not to bring Democrat socialism or communism to New York. It's to Islamify it. And
but exactly, I agree with you. But I'm saying that's how it's going to play out when things get settled.
That's all him distracting. That's all him distracting so he can do what he really wants to do. And like last night in the debate, I watched this debate. It's disgusting. Cuomo, he mentioned that you won't condemn the Intifada, but he didn't ask him to condemn 9/11, as an example, which he has not condemned or even spoken about 9/11. And I don't think he would condemn it. They won't talk. The elephant in the room is this, and they won't talk about it. And that's why he's doing so well, because he's running again. Curtis Leawood isn't even doing it. But Cuomo's still a Democrat, and he doesn't want to be called an Islamophobe. Listen, if I were running Cuomo's campaign, my first commercial would have been Cuomo on the streets of London, walking around and showing London 20 years ago, and then showing the same place today where it's Muslim, right? And all of this stuff. And talk about that's what he's going to bring to New York. And you just have to look at Michigan or Minnesota to see in those communities. But they won't do it.
After the election, when basically, in my judgment, it's going to boil down to a conflict between the mayor's office and the presidency. It's going to be the two of them going head to head on everything. And at that point, they'll have all the Muslim activists. And the riots that have not occurred yet in New York, worse than we've ever seen. That's what I see. The battle is going to be for control of the budget of New York, because there's not a lot that Miami can do without the approval of the President of the United States.
Yeah. All right. Hey, listen, Cole. I appreciate the call. Let me put you on hold for a second, Steve. My phones are ringing off the hook. All right. If you're on hold, hang in there. We're gonna take a break, and we're gonna get back to the calls after the break. But I want to welcome a new sponsor to the program today, Steve. And I'm talking about George Colony, who's in the real estate business. And, you and I were talking about this the other day. When you've got a real estate agent, for the most part, and you've dealt with a real estate agent, what were they before they were a real estate agent? And how long have they been a real estate agent, right? I know from my experience, and I don't buy and sell houses too much, but you have, Steve. You've dealt with real estate agents throughout your life, right?
Oh, yeah.
Most real estate agents that I've dealt with have been like a wife who's got a part-time job, or someone who was working at the mall 6 months ago, or working as a waiter or waitress somewhere. Not that there's anything wrong with that, But when you're dealing with George Colony, what you're dealing with is someone who's a businessman. He's been in business and real estate here in Florida for over 6 decades. And he's not just a lifelong real estate guy. He's a lifelong businessman. And he knows real estate like no one else I've ever known. He specializes in every type of real estate, residential, commercial, even office and industrial. And, you know, he has been involved in the buying and selling of over $5 billion of real estate. That's right. He's done over $5 billion in real estate transactions. Is that something? And he's founded 8-figure businesses. So you're dealing with a real businessman, a real estate guy. You're not dealing with somebody that was working at Chili's taking your order at the bar 6 months ago. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but you guys know what I mean. Give George Colony a call. You know, I met him through Tom Laporta from Laporta Roofing. So, and he comes highly recommended from Tom Laporta, and he shares something in common with Tom Laporta. The number I'm going to give you is George Colony's cell phone. Okay, so this is his cell phone number: 954-801-7320. 954-801-7320. That's 954-801-7320. That is his personal cell phone. You can call or text. All right, let's take our first break of the third hour. It's the Steve Kane Show. I'm Brian. Steve Kane is here. Callers on hold. You stand by. We'll be right back. I'm going to put you on hold, Steve. Hold on. All right, Steve, we got 1 minute.
Yes.
Okay,
Can we get into the...
What do you want to do?
Can we get into the question of updating the situation about the budget?
There's no update unless you got something. Unless you got something, there's no updates. But we got some.
No, but I wanted. Go ahead.
All right, hold on. We got about 30 seconds. Hold on. All right, we're back. I'm Brian. Steve Kane is here. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. We're going to go back to the phone, Steve?
The one thing I'd like to find out, if anybody has an update on what's going on in terms of the budget, I'd like to know. I couldn't find anything.
There's really not. I don't know of too many updates, but if somebody knows of some, feel free to call and let us know when we pick you up.
Yeah.
All right? All right.
That'd be good.
All right, let's go. All right. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hello?
Yeah, you're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, how you doing? My name's Tim. I'm calling from Baltimore, Maryland.
What's up?
So I hear your podcast, and to me it just sounds like you're just talking about people that aren't white. You know,
like Donald Trump? Governor
Yeah.
Governor Cuomo?
You sound
Governor
like you're
Newsom?
racist as Trump.
No, excuse me. No. We've been talking about President Trump, Curtis Sliwa, Gavin Newsom, right?
No,
Governor
I
Cuomo.
just
Those
heard
are
you
white
talking
guys.
I just heard you talking about Mandani telling you he wants to turn New York into a Muslim state, and I'm like, dude.
No, just the city.
America was founded on freedom of religion. I mean, that's a terrible argument.
Mm-hmm. Are you? You know, when you say terrible argument, first off, what's happened here in this world is you're familiar with 9/11, caller?
Okay, and you want to bring up 9/11?
Oh, yeah,
bring up all the other bad stuff.
What happened on 9/11?
9/11. We had a terrible incident where some people ran a plane.
Some people.
Into
Some people. That's Ilhan Omar. Some people did something. Is that what you just said on 9/11? Some people did something.
Yeah, that's exactly what I said. Some people.
That's
did
how
something.
you view 9/11. What happened to Pearl Harbor? Some people did something.
People did something.
Some people did something. But isn't it important to talk about who those people were?
You know what the difference between Pearl Harbor is and 9/11?
Yeah, 9/11 was a civilian target. Pearl Harbor was a military target.
Pearl Harbor, we know what happened. Pearl Harbor, we know exactly what happened, and we know.
I know what happened on 9/11. 19 Islamic terrorists hijacked airplanes and attacked America, killed 3,000 Americans. That's what happened.
Yeah, who financed them?
I don't know. Muslim world's pretty rich.
No, I would say the Israeli world.
The Jews did it. Wrong.
Oh my God! Oh my God!
This is who's behind Mamdani. This is great. Yeah, this is a great endorsement.
No, Israel's not behind Mamdani.
No, you.
Yeah, you know what? I support Mamdani because
I can tell
what he's doing. Yeah,
are you telling us that you're telling us that the Jews attacked America on 9/11?
Just like they did before. It wasn't their first time.
Really? When did the Jews attack us before? I missed it.
Oh, my God. See, that's the thing. If they're white, you be supporting them. But let me tell you something. Back in the day, Israel attacked a U.S. Navy boat and almost sank it.
Tell me about that. I know about it. What was the name of the boat?
Who cares about what the name of the boat is? I don't remember the name of the boat is. I just know they did it.
You're talking about a friendly fire incident, an accident?
That's not a friendly fire. They've never been friendly to us, ever.
Okay.
Ever. Okay. Man, they've been killing American citizens. They've been killing American journalists as we go in there to report on Gaza.
Well, no, this is a Mamdani guy. He's endorsing a Mamdani.
No, but he's a Klan guy. He's an anti-Semite.
He's not a Klansman. I think he's black. Are you? What's your ethnicity, caller? Are you African American?
I'm black.
Yeah, he's Black Klan, Steve. He's a Black Klansman.
I'm black.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm black. But I know what they do.
Say it again.
You know what I'm saying? I know exactly what they do.
Yeah. Who's the they? Who's the they? Jews? Jews? What do Jews do?
No. I didn't say it's Zionists.
Zionists.
Let's be completely
What's
clear.
the difference between a Jew and a Zionist? I don't know. What's the difference?
You're not a Zionist. You're just a plain out anti-Semite. What's the mystery here?
I don't know what the difference between.
You know what? That's the funny thing about you white people. You remember everything else, especially the racist people, you remember everything else except for what you guys did. You guys want to talk about
racist.
everything else.
Let me ask you.
9/11.
Let me ask you this, caller. Let me
Let's
ask
talk
you this,
about the Jim
caller.
Crow laws.
Let me ask you this, caller. Do you hate Jews?
No, I don't hate Jews.
Tell me
My
something
best friend
good.
is Jewish.
Tell me something good about
My
Jews.
best friend's Jewish.
Tell me something
My
good
best
about
friend's
Jews.
Jewish. But
Tell
you
me.
know what?
Tell me something good about
I have
Jews.
nothing. Tell me something good about black people.
Oh my! I love my daughter. She's black. She's great. Steve's kids are black. They're great
I
kids.
doubt that.
Tell us something good about Jews.
I doubt that.
You can't think of anything. Tell us something good about the Jews. You said you don't hate them.
Hold on. What do you doubt, sir?
Jews.
When you say go ahead. When you say you doubt that,
Not
what
all
are you
Jews are
doubting?
Zionists. What do you mean?
So what's your point?
I talked about our kids, and you said I doubt that. What he's asking what you meant then.
Oh, what do you doubt? What? That we have black kids?
Yeah.
Google us.
What do you base that on? What do you base that on?
Google us.
Yeah, I just because you can't be out here supporting like talking about people's religion and stuff like and talking about like, oh man, everyone's gonna become you can't talk bad about the Muslims. You know what I'm saying? And
You
then
can't.
and then have black kids.
Well,
I mean,
this reminds
I
me
feel
of-
sorry for your kids
This
if they're
reminds
black.
This reminds me of This reminds me of those old public service announcements they used to run. The mind is a terrible thing to waste.
Yeah.
Years are certainly wasted.
You know what? And that's exactly what I hear when I'm listening to you guys. I'm like,
So,
are you serious? You're talking about the man's
so
religion?
now that you've vented a little bit, can you think of something good that you could say about Jews now?
No. I don't know anything good.
Oh my God. Okay. All right.
So why did that?
It's
why
time
did
for a
that
break.
take so long?
To say no.
So you-
He's gone, Steve.
Sir.
He's gone. I let him go. We're going into break.
Oh.
Well,
too bad. Just when I was beginning to hate it.
Oh, it was good. It was good. It was fine, you know. But it's time for a break, and I want to talk about coastal weight loss secret. You know, this is very important. Listen, we're a week and a day away from Halloween, so a week from Saturday begins the holiday season. It's November 1st. You've got Thanksgiving. You've got Christmas. You've got Hanukkah, right? You've got New Year's. You've got Christmas parties at work. You're going to see people in your family that you see once a year, once every 5 years, once every 20 years. You want to look great. Call Coastal Weight Loss Secret. I lost 25 pounds in 3 weeks. Okay, just the first 3 weeks, lost 25 pounds. Lost about a pound a day. Lost over 35 pounds total. You've got plenty of time to do what I did. My results are very typical. I've lost over 35 pounds. You can look spectacular. You can weigh what you weighed decades ago with Coastal Weight Loss Secret before you see everybody from the holidays. And they're going to be blown away by how great you look. Call right now and schedule your no-charge consultation. 561-247-6300. 561-247-6300. That's 561-247-6300. All right, we'll take our break and be right back. I'm going to put you on hold, Steve, for a minute. Hold on. All right, Steve, we'll be back in 30 seconds.
Okay.
Oh, my goodness. Now, hold on, Steve. All right, we're back. I'm Brian. Steve, you back with us?
I'm with you.
Okay, we are back. It's the Steve Kane Show, and boy, oh boy, I just want to say something on that last caller. I've told this to people many times, and they don't understand it, and it's a hard thing to. You know what? Scalia, remember Scalia, the Supreme Court justice? Scalia, there's a famous quote from Scalia. He says, "I can't define pornography, but I know it when I see it." Okay, so that last caller, I tell people this a lot, and they don't understand, and I don't know how to articulate it, but the last caller is that. Most people that are racist and anti-Semites don't think they're racist or anti-Semites. They just think they see reality, right? And that last guy is a textbook example of what I'm trying to explain when I say that. That guy hates Jews like nobody's business. I mean,
Absolutely, just an old-fashioned bigot.
You've been a Jew all your life, Steve.
Absolutely.
But haven't you seen an increase in this anti-Jewish hate that's going on, this anti-Semitic? I mean, you dealt with it when you were young, but it pretty much disappeared in America, and it's back like nobody's business now.
No, it never stays buried too long.
Yeah, really. I mean, I thought it was kind of pretty much gone in large numbers, but now it seems to be just too common. All right, let's go back to the phones. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Oh, hi there, Brian.
Oh.
It's the mask lady, Louise.
Yes.
From Boca.
Hey, Louise.
Hi, Steve. Steve, you would remember this. It's such a sad commentary what's happened to New York City. I lived on Long Island. I'm here in Florida 50 years. But can you imagine three women going to the old Tonight Show with Steve Allen live in the city and coming home on the subway at 1 o'clock in the morning and never having and the only bums were on the Bowery. And I remember, wasn't Canal Street diamonds or jewelry, or wasn't that Steve?
The dime district is in the dime district. The diamond district is in Midtown Manhattan.
Yeah, but somehow I thought I remembered Canal Street buying our wedding rings. There had to be jewelry and diamonds there. But, I mean, could you imagine we were free to roam, no fear of anything, and now what it's become? I wouldn't even...
Well, it's not so much what it's become, it's what it's going to go, where it's going to go from here. And I don't know, if I want to be optimistic, what I have to console myself with is that in a conflict between Magani, or whatever his name is, and Donald Trump, you got to put your money on Trump, you would think, right? I mean, it's going to become very personal very fast.
But he'll still be mayor.
Well, but the power of the mayor's job requires money.
Mm-hmm.
And that a lot of the money it requires, they're not going to get from the federal government.
Steve, the thing about the New York City mayors, we don't talk about mayors' races. Being the mayor of New York City is a bigger deal than being the governor of most every state, right? There's no question. It's like being the mayor of New York City is like being the governor of California. It's a big deal. And I agree with everything you're saying, but it's a big domino to fall in this country for this guy to be mayor. It could very well be the beginning of the end for New York City. Listen, Our old friend Ed texted me a few minutes ago, Steve. You remember Ed? Ed from Tavolino's. Ed from Tavolino's.
Oh, right. Oh, Ed. Okay.
Yeah. And
Ed from Tavolino's.
Ed from Tavolino. He texted me just a few minutes ago while you and I were talking, about 20 minutes ago. And I just got the text now, but because I wasn't looking at he said the two greatest international cities that represent the West and freedom have been New York and London. And London's already fallen. Right?
London's gone.
And, well, now they're setting their sights on New York City. And, you know.
Yeah, but see, when they took on London, they weren't fighting Trump. This is going to be very personal.
Well, that's true.
Between the two major players.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's you know, I would imagine there's been a lot of investigating looking for scandal, but he's too young to find any scandal. And he took a picture with a terrorist from the Trade Center. That didn't hurt him. So, you know, he seems pretty invincible at this point. All right, you want to take some calls?
Well, he's not, yes.
All right.
But he's at point out he's not mayor yet.
That's true. That's true. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, it's Renee from Harlem.
Oh.
I'm calling regarding that call you had earlier that was telling you had no claim on being a black man or being a father having the attitude that you have.
Steve and I are both black fathers. We're both black fathers.
Let me talk to this guy. Tell me more.
What?
Tell me more. That's just the open line.
Asking a lot.
You have to have more material than that.
Asking a lot.
Steve, shut up. I have to pass on some information to you that...
Excuse me. What did you just say? What did you say?
Don't talk. Why are you talking on top of me? Be quiet.
Because it's my show, and you're a guest, and you're on the verge of getting thrown off my show.
Okay? So be quiet, bigot, and let me tell you what I have to say. You might find it you might be kind of horrified,
You want him to stay on, Steve? I mean, he's being...
Go ahead, get to it. I'm eating up with curiosity.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
The fact of the matter is, the people that you have so much contempt for are actually Israelites. The people who claim to be Israelites are actually European imposters. Jesus Christ, the people that you claim to have...
You still want to talk to this guy, Steve?
A black man.
Yeah, this is okay. So I would like to say I've enjoyed this call, but I'd be lying. Get off the phone, jerk.
You know...
Tell me to shut up on my show.
I know. I mean, I had my finger on the button as soon as he said that. You kept him on. You know, this black Israelite thing, you know, we get with this guy. You know what this is? You know where this comes from? This is because I've heard from a number of these jerks, you know. They hate Jews like the plague, right? And they say they're the true Jews. And people like you aren't the true Jews. You know why they say that?
Because they're delusional.
Well, yes. But there's another reason. They in their anti-Semitism, they think Jews control all the money. So they think if they're named the true Jews, they'll have access to they'll get all the money. I'm telling you, that's why they say that. It's part of it's some deep anti-Semitism. I mean, it's nuts, but delusional sums it all up. Yeah, it's delusional. Yeah. See what I mean? You know, Steve, those types of calls we've always gotten, but they were like once a year calls. Now we've had 2 in a row. That's what I'm telling you, that it's increasing. All right, you're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
IB in Broward. Good morning. Hey, Steve.
IB, how you doing?
I'm doing great, man. I'm breathing. Nice to hear your voice on the phone. Does make you sound more energetic and alive. I like that as well. Brian said the phone is great. You know, that caller who was so anti-Jewish, I mean, like him, Renee, and Jay from Verge should get together and share ideas. But what he reminded me of is Candace Owens' grandfather, who she clings with his every word. And back in those days, in the 50s and 60s, the Jew was responsible for any issues in the world. And I believe I believe her grandfather ingrained some things in her head. And then when she finally took that trip to Israel and saw the different, well, you can call them boroughs, since in New York are boroughs. And she, in her mind, she was thinking the Jews segregated the Palestinians in that little area in Jerusalem or wherever she was, not understanding that they chose to live in that area, just like Little China, Big Italy, or whatever. You have the Harlem in New York, and then you have the success getting in your face, and now your subconscious is telling you to use it to then now make money. So she's actually capitalizing on something that her father ingrained in her to hate, but she's using it now to capitalize on it. Why is she talking about Jews all the time when there's so much more to go on?
Yeah.
I believe Mandani's not going to do anything that he says, because if he implements $30 an hour in New York, he will kill any remaining business that is there that haven't left yet. That's besides the looting and robbery that
New York can't survive. What you're going to find out real quick is New York can do nothing without federal dollars. And when Trump decides to bring down the hammer on, the money that the mayoral administration is involved with this,
just to keep them up with the basics.
Hey, IB, we gotta run, but I appreciate the call. Yeah, you know what it is? The people with money have already left New York, so New York is surviving. Yeah. New York's been surviving on the tax money that from the federal government, right? Not the New York tax money. There's not enough of it anymore. And when he legalizes shoplifting up to $1,000, there's not going to be any local businesses left either. You want to talk? I mean, it's. Could you imagine? Could you imagine? Oh, I looked at the clock. All right, we're going to take our last break and come back with the gold report.
Except.
Hey there, hold on. If you're new, make sure you subscribe. All right, Steve, 30 seconds. Steve, you there? Kidding me? Steve, you there? Okay, William, we have 10 seconds.
Okay.
All right, we're back. I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show. Time to check in with William Youngerman from the offices of William Youngerman Incorporated. William Youngerman, how the metal's looking today?
Metal's looking good, stabilizing after the nice pullback that we had of profit taking, and of course scaring out some of the weak hands and traders that we saw as gold took a nice couple $100, $250 drop. Recovering back to over 4,100 again. Gold yesterday trading in a low of $4,003, going down, testing the $4,000 number, which it did a couple of times, held it nicely, traded as high as 41.62, and then closed out the day just down $26.20 after being down over $100 yesterday, closing down $26.20 at $4,097.50. Silver was down 24 cents at $48.38 the ounce. Platinum gained $86 yesterday at $1,634, and palladium was up $44 at $1,440. Overnight, we saw gold trade in a range of $4,065 all the way up to $4,138, and right now gold's at $4,120 the ounce. That's up $22.50. Silver up 72 cents at $49.10 the ounce. Platinum up $14 at $1,648. And palladium down $11 at $1,930 the ounce. So the markets are doing fine, considering that we hit an all-time record high on Monday and gave back a couple $100. Gold at $4,120, just a couple $100 off the all-time record highs. We're doing fine. Gold's great, doing exactly what it should be doing, giving us buying opportunities once in a while, and panicking out people who are just short-term or weak hands, which the bull markets tend to do.
Yeah, I mean, over $4,000, over $4,100. I mean, it's hard for these numbers even to sink in. They're so high with me, and there are some panicked people that get panicked over the little things. But let me tell you something. Gold has been money for 5,000 years, and we hit record highs in the 5,000-year history of gold. I think things are going pretty well. William Youngerman opens up at 10 a.m. You can stop in at 150 East Palmetto Park Road in Boca, which is in the first floor of the Bank of America building, immediately east of US 1 Federal Highway on the south side of Palmetto Park Road. Or give them a call, toll-free, 1-800-327-5010. Remember, you can do all your transactions over the phone and through the mail as well, no matter where you're located in the world. 1-800-327-5010. And find both his address and phone number online at williamyoungerman.com. All right, William Youngerman, we'll finish out the week tomorrow.
Okay, have a great day.
All right, take care. Now, I want to remind you guys, tomorrow is Friday already, which is hard for me to believe. I know. And that means it is open phones on Friday. We call it Open MAGA Mike Friday. And on Fridays, you're welcome to call in about any and everything on your mind. You're not limited to the topics we bring up. So tomorrow is open phones. All right, Steve, we got you back, and I'm going to go right back to the phones, and the metals are looking great. Oh, boy. All right.
Oh, that's what I want to hear.
Yeah, well, I'll have to tell you after the show because we lost the connection. But you're back, and let's go to the phones. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Brian from Deerfield. Hey, Brian. Hi, Steve. How are you today?
All right.
Guys,
if we lose this election, I think this will be a trigger for the nation to go into basically the perfect storm. We lose on so many different levels. It's not just that politically, but it's culturally, it's the optics, it's our position on the world stage. It'll be a disaster. This guy, if he becomes mayor of New York, running on this policy he has, in a city that was hit by the worst terrorist attack in our history, and wins the mayoral candidacy, we're in the perfect storm. You're going to have. I think you're going to have Mandami clothes all over the United States.
I hope you're wrong. Did I lose you, Steve? Yeah, I lost the connection with Steve. Are you there? Yeah, I lost the connection with Steve. No, I agree with you. I know I'm having a tough time with Steve today. You know, I know. Usually I'm a pretty positive guy, but it's hard to be positive.
Me too.
You know, when the picture of the 9/11 co-conspirator is out there and he's bragging about it. I mean, you know.
Yes.
I mean, what?
Yes, it's like a celebration photo.
Yeah. All right, hey, but I appreciate the call. I don't know why I keep getting disconnected from Steve, but I'm gonna get him back. But listen. As far as I'm concerned, at this point, I'm so aggravated with everybody that's involved in this race that I'm pretty much done with it. I mean, I don't even like covering it. I feel obligated to. But, I mean, you know, with the New Yorkers, if they're not going to help themselves, what are we going to offer them, right? You know, and that's just kind of how I see it. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Vicky, I'm calling from Oklahoma.
All right. Go ahead, Vicky. Hold on. Let me answer all these lines. All right, Steve, I think I finally got you back. You there? All right.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. That is a very strange thing that just happened. That is a very strange thing. All right. Oh, my goodness. You're on the air. All right, I'm losing all my lines. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Vicky from Oklahoma.
Okay, got you back, Vicky. Sorry. I just lost all the lines almost. Go ahead.
No, it's cool. You know, the guy that called about where you said some people did something. Well, they are not a religion. They are a political movement more than they are a religion. And I just sent you a whole bunch of stuff if you'd like to use it on your show.
No. I don't need a history of Islam and all that stuff. I got a pretty good hold on it. All right, let me see here. All right, you're on the air. I got you now. I got you back, Steve. I got you back. Okay. You know, I was just saying, this is kind of how I'm feeling it. Now, it's different because you're like Donald Trump. New York's your hometown, so you know it's a little different. But this race in New York, I'm so frustrated at how the whole thing's gone down, and I really kind of wash my hands clean of it. I mean, that old saying, you can take a horse to water, you can't make him drink. If this is what New York wants, let them have it. I mean, what are you going to do at this point, right? I mean, we've given them, they have all the information. All these things, Steve, that we bring out in this race that we think are terrible are resume enhancing for him. So, I mean, I don't know what else we could do. Do you?
There's nothing much you can do about it except sit by and watch.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm doing basically at this point. I mean, I tell you this, the Democrat Party has self-destructed to such an extent that that's how he's come in. This chaos and disruption and disunity and lack of a party structure is what's allowed Mamdani to get to where he is right now. If the party...
On a different note,
yeah.
Did I miss the gold report?
You did. It's all doing well. Gold's over 4,100, so we're standing pretty strong. You missed... Yeah. Well, I got disconnected from you during the report, right before the report, but it's over 4,100 still, so that's awesome stuff. Everything's going
worthwhile.
But I will tell you this. If you're in pain, you need to go see Dr. Appleton. Dr. Appleton, the consultations with Dr. Appleton are free. So take advantage of this no-charge consultation and meet with Dr. Appleton. Appointments are not necessary. Walk-ins are welcome, and Dr. Appleton will tell you how his robotic laser wave pain treatment can change your life like he's done me. Rid me of all these different pains. Some of them I suffered for 30 years from. Rid me of my arthritis pain, the pains from my injuries. And I think, if I had not met Dr. Appleton, I wouldn't just be in pain. I wouldn't be functional. I just wouldn't. Or I'd be a junkie like Hunter Biden, because I mean, I've had some pretty bad pains and bad injuries, and I thought that was just a part of growing older. It's not. With the laser treatment, there's no drugs, no surgery. It's completely painless. Give Dr. Appleton a call, 954-973-0710. 954-973-0710. And online, AppletonCairo.com. Now, tomorrow's open phones on the program, Open Mag Mike Friday. Don't forget that, guys. I can't believe it's going to be Friday already. But I will say this, this war in Russia, President Trump called off the summit. There's not going to be a meeting with Zelensky, Putin, and Trump. That's over. And I just guess we're going to have to settle with 8 wars ended. We're not going to get the 9th one. I mean, it seems pretty hopeless at this point in the Ukraine war, Steve. President Trump had a pretty good press conference yesterday with the head of NATO in the Oval Office, and he seems to say, he says that Putin wants all of Ukraine, and that's it. There's no. So and this war is probably going to go on for the next 20 years. Look, whenever the Democrats are in charge, everything goes to garbage, right? Biden gave us this war with Russia and Ukraine. Biden gave us Mamdani, right? I mean, there's nothing the Democrats touch that doesn't turn to complete garbage. But that's okay. We'll have to, we've got Trump, and we'll keep on trucking. But there's nothing we can do. But when Mamdani wins, Democrats around the country are going to embrace that as a victory. They're so desperate to have a win. So it'll be interesting, Steve, to see if they jump onto it and celebrate a victory, or do they get really freaked out that things are going to turn disastrous and nobody wants to touch it,
Well, I think they realize they're in trouble, but how it'll play out, heavens only knows. But as long as the metals keep moving up,
that's right. That's all that matters. That's all that matters is gold, silver, platinum, and palladium. All right, well, that's all the time we have for today. We'll be back tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show on the radio since 1977, celebrating 49 years on the radio. My name is Brian Craig. Steve Kane, of course, has been here. And tomorrow, don't forget, is Open Phones, meaning the show prep is up to you guys on Friday's show, Open MAGA Mike Friday. Take care. God bless Donald Trump. See you tomorrow, 6 a.m. All right, we're clear. I'm going to take a couple calls before I say goodbye, but I got a ton of stuff to do today. Plus, I got to go get my haircut to be on TV later, but I'll take a couple calls. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, this is Tad. I'm calling from New Philadelphia, Ohio.
Okay, what's up, Ohio?
Same old. Hey, you seem like a stand-up guy.
Here we go.
Just
yes.
Simple question. Do you believe in the Constitution?
Yes, it is a document that exists. Yes, I do believe that it exists and believe it. Yes, it's I've seen it on display at the National Archives. Yes.
And you stand behind everything in the Constitution?
Well, you want to talk about my hat?
Well, no, I mean just well, we could start there. I mean, is that like kind of just like a trolling tactic, or?
No, I'm not a troll.
So there's parts of the Constitution that you could say piss on, and others that you're.
No, that's what you Democrats do, telling us there's no Second Amendment right to own and bear arms. There's no free speech, and you cancel people. That's what you liberals do.
I'm not a Democrat.
I know.
I believe in the Constitution. I'm a constitutionalist.
Oh.
And the 22nd Amendment says your hat is dumb as shit.
Well, when was the 22nd Amendment passed into the Constitution?
It was after the original writing of it. It is an amendment.
When? Mr. Constitutionalist?
What difference does it? What
difference does it make? Oh, he's quoting Hillary Clinton now. Oh my goodness! Don't you feel stupid? You tell us you're some strong constitutionalist and you don't know the basics. Take care. Oh my goodness, loser. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
My name is Ian, calling from Ocean City, Maryland.
Hey, what's up, Ian?
Yeah, what's up with your hat?
It's a beautiful hat.
I want you to. Can you do me a favor, real quick? I mean, honestly, I'm here for an honest intellectual debate. I love intellectualism because I think it's the solution to a lot of problems.
Well, give me an intellect on the line.
Okay, so here it is. So, and this is really not even intellectualism. This is real basic common sense. That, as a matter of fact, FACT fact, all caps. If that hat said Harris 2020, if that hat said Clinton 2028, and I'm talking about Bill Clinton, you guys would shit a brick. Wouldn't you?
This is what you said. This is your intellectual conversation using language like that.
25 years ago.
Hold on a second. You said. Excuse me. You said you're into intellectual conversation, and then you drop language like that. Is that what you consider intellectual?
25 years ago.
All right, that's what I thought. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Let's take another couple. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
My name's Riley.
Hold on a second here. Hold on. Yeah. What's your name?
Riley.
Where are you calling from, Riley?
Utah.
All right. What's on your mind?
I was just wondering where I get that hat, my man.
Oh, you can get this hat in two places, right? They're for sale at the gift shop at the White House. That's one place. So you can get the gift shop at the White House, or go to the official Donald Trump website and he sells them. President Trump sells these hats on his official website. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right. Take care. Yes. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
My name is Rita. I'm a faithful listener, and I'm from Houston.
All right. Rita in Houston. What's on your mind?
I wanted to talk about entitlement. I'm a veteran teacher. I taught for 30 years in
Hold on a second. Let me answer these lines here. Hold on. All right. Rita?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
So I taught for 30 years in elementary schools across 5 different states.
Uh-huh.
And so I could have told you 30 years ago that I saw that this could have been coming. When, as teachers, we were told that we had to separate the child from his actions and not shame them when he did something wrong. And this concept was kind of hard for me since I'm from Catholic upbringing. And I thought to myself, there's something wrong. I'm not trying to
be rude, but I got to go soon because I got a lot to do today. So what's the point?
Sure.
I'm not trying to be rude, but I got to rush you to the point.
The point is
so
just to understand where the entitlement is coming from.
Oh, you're talking about with the SNAP food stamp people?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, yeah. There's a little more to it than that, but I agree. All right. Take care. Appreciate the call from Houston. All right. I'm going to go through a couple of these calls and I got to run. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, my name is Jack. I'm calling from Utah, and you're a fucking cunt.
Oh, this is the intellect. This form of intellectual this form of intellectual debate is.
You're a cunt.
Yeah, well, listening to you, I doubt you know too much about such things. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Brian, it's JJ from Mass.
Oh, JJ. Oh my goodness. We've got to run here.
Today.
Yeah, got to run here.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to get going. Yeah, I'm sorry. Just a couple seconds. I'll let you go.
Yeah.
You were talking about the EBT, the generational family, which was kind of disgusting. But, she talked about the grandmother, then the mother, then her, and she was going to then, teach her children how to do it. The Democrats love this stuff. They love that because it's a net inflow. It's federal dollars. I mean, basically, the 49 states are subsidizing New York, New York City, etc. And they also, because they administrate the program on their end, the federal government gives them the money. Well, I mean, New York, what do you think they do when they pay people to administrate this? They pay them twice, 3 times, whatever the hell they should be paid. It's just like another way. It's like the NGO grift.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they basically subsidize their states, House of Economic Cards, with programs like this. They do the same thing with illegals. The homeless thing is the same thing.
Well,
Remember
see,
DeBlasio
all this corruption
with
you're
his
talking
wife?
about. Yeah, all this corruption you're talking about is what I thought was going to save us from Zohan. Because I thought that the Democrat Party establishment would be like, we're going to lose our whole con game here with this guy. And,
I agreed with you when you were saying that.
I haven't seen them make a move, so I don't know. I mean, what is the machine in existence? Do they think they can handle this guy? I don't know.
I think, I think it's either that, Brett. Well, you know what? I think they have to. They have to believe that they're going to be able to form an alliance and keep the grift going. Because, I mean, that's what the Democrats and the Republicans did, 40, 50, 60, 70 years ago. I mean, we're all watching the show when these guys are arguing amongst each other.
Well, listen, I've got to run because I've got business stuff I got to do. My phone's ringing off the hook.
What are you going to be on today? I didn't catch.
I am. I will tell you guys after. It's not going to be today's thing. Will not be live. It'll be taped. So,
okay.
But I have a ton. I will let you know tomorrow. But I got a ton of work to do. I got to go get my hair cut. I don't think I'm going to wear a suit today.
Okay.
I don't know. People make fun of me when I wear the suit. When I wear this,
bro.
Yeah.
I wouldn't recognize you in that. If I were walking down the street and I saw you in that suit, I would not know it was you unless I heard your voice. If I heard your voice.
Yeah, I know.
And
when I
you clean up well, bro. You look like somebody off of Wall Street.
I bring out my cruise clothes. That's what I wear to dinner on the cruises. I bring those out. But people make fun of me when I wear a suit and tie.
Yeah, you look good. Clean up. Listen, have a good day. Good luck with everything you're doing.
You take care. All right. Appreciate it. Thanks so much. All right. The rest of you on hold, I got to run. I got to go get my hair cut. I got to be on national television in a little bit. So, I wasn't going to get a haircut. Then everybody in the chat earlier said, no, get the haircut. So I got the haircut. But I'll be back tomorrow, maybe later today. I don't know about later today because I got all this stuff going on today. But make sure you subscribe if you're new. My name is Brian Craig. This is where MAGA comes to talk. Thanks for watching.